HTS of the Baltimore Football Club presents the CFL. Tonight, from Memorial Stadium, it's Baltimore CFL Football Club playing host to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. An early arriving crowd here in Baltimore tonight. The CFLers with a victory will move into first place in the Eastern Conference ahead of the idle Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff River, your play-by-play host here on HTS, joined by two former National Football League greats with the Baltimore Colts. We speak of Stan White here on my left and Tom Matte. And gentlemen, the Colts coming off a big victory over the Las Vegas Posse a few nights back, Saturday night in the desert. And tonight, they can certainly thank a couple of players in particular. We'll start with the offensive player I thought of the ball game, Walter Wilson.
No question. Walter Wilson is a product right here local from Southern High School. Has done a great job so far this year. He's got 23 catches, made the big play, 61 yards. Really a quality young man, being able to catch it. You'll be able to see him right here, go right over the middle. Ham throws it over. Watch the run that he makes down the sideline. And boy, he does take a shot here. But this is the kind of guy that you've got to have. Tracy Ham has that confidence.
Certainly as big a play as that was offensively. On the defensive side of the football, Stan White, Irvin Smith's play kept the Posse out of the end zone.
Another local guy from the University of Maryland, Irvin Smith. Now, you don't like your corners or defensive backs to be making too many tackles, and we'll talk about the coverage problems later on, but you want them to make big plays, and there was no bigger play in this football game than stopping the opponent on the 2-yard line when you're 6 points ahead. And we'll see the play right here. Watch Irvin. He stays close enough. He doesn't break up the pass, but he makes the play. And the old rule, Tom, was on 4th down, doesn't matter where it is as long as it's not in the end zone. In Canadian football, it's 3rd down, doesn't matter where it is as long as it's not in the end zone.
Well, folks here in Baltimore and folks at home on HTS get to see a former National Football League #1 draft pick in Tim Rosenbach start at quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. What can you tell us, Tom?
Well, Tim was #1 draft choice for the Phoenix Cardinals in 1989, and then he had some ligament injuries. He had a cruciate ligament torn up and everything. So this is his first year in the CFL, and I'll tell you something. He's a quality athlete, 55% completion average. He's the guy that we have to stop, but he's still what we would call a typical NFL quarterback, a drop-back guy. He doesn't have the scrambling ability of a Flutie or a Dunnigan or anything like that, but we still have to contain him because he's got a great arm.
Talking in terms of National Football League products, there's another guy here on the defensive side of the football, Cofield. He formerly played with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Tim Cofield, and Tom mentioned some scramblers. He didn't mention Tracy Ham, and Tim Cofield's going to see a lot of Tracy Ham tonight. But this is a guy who was a rising star for the Kansas City Chiefs about 4 or 5 years ago. He's 6'2", 245, bench presses regularly over 500 pounds, and can run around a 4.6 40. So he's going to be playing the rush end, and he'll have to contain Tracy Ham if Hamilton's going to have a chance in this game tonight. They need his pass rush. They need that type of pressure.
So both teams coming off victories. The Posse with a big win in Las Vegas. Hamilton wins its first of the year with a victory over Shreveport. The two teams meeting here tonight at Memorial Stadium, and it's coming up next right here on HTS. Tom Matte rejoining you here on HTS, the CFL on HTS from Memorial Stadium tonight here in Baltimore as Baltimore plays host to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, celebrating their 125th anniversary in the CFL. Just moments before tonight's kickoff, we had a chance to visit with head coach Don Matthews of Baltimore CFLers, and I asked him how difficult will the quick turnaround from Saturday's game be in tonight's game.
I think you're going to find a football team that's going to check itself on a gut check level tonight. I think that that was a tough road victory for us. We got some food poisoning, as a lot of people know. We got some guys nicked up a little bit after 2 days of practice. I think our guys have responded very, very well, and I anticipate them having a great football game tonight.
Baltimore head coach Don Matthews. Guys, it's a little different from the National Football League, but Stan, how tough, how difficult will it be? The desert air, certainly, Saturday night, the long flight back home, the red eye, and then coming right back here and playing midweek.
So it's a big advantage, though, to be home, Jeff. When I played for the Lions, we had to play every Thanksgiving, which meant Sunday, Thursday, a quick turnaround. And it was a great advantage to be at home because Hamilton loses a day in their travel, maybe a day and a half to travel down here. Well, Baltimore can use all that time to get ready for the game. So a short week in this particular circumstance is a big advantage for the Baltimore team.
No question about that, Stan. I think it is, and I think that they've had light workouts. We had a couple nicks and bumps. Don Matthews worked him very lightly during the week just to be able to get him back, because there was a lot of guys, a lot of dehydration out there, some food poisoning for the players, but I think they were strong. I watched them practice this week. They looked very attentive, and it is going to be a basic game plan is what's going to happen today, because they don't have the time to really go into great detail when you have to play in this quick turnaround.
Hamilton will receive to start the football game. Donald Igwe-Bike will kick it off from the 35. Earl Winfield, number 1, and Dave Donnell, number 12, back to receive the opening kickoff here. The stands starting to fill in, as we mentioned in the opening. They're expecting over 30,000 on hand for tonight's football game.
And I would kick it away from Earl Winfield if I was Iggy in this case. Winfield, one of the premier players in the CFL, and last week had a real big week. Caught 5 passes for over 100 yards, 4 passes for 121 yards, and also had a 42-yard punt return. So he does it all for this team.
You know, in talking to the coaches about Winfield, the one thing he says, he has such great upper body strength that when you do tackle him, he knocks these guys off like duck pins over there. So they've got their hands filled with Winfield today.
And we're set for the kickoff to start this football game. Igwe-Bike sends it right to Winfield. No problem. 15-yard line to the 20, 25. Sidesteps a tackle, and then is pulled out immediately on the play by Robert Clark. And Hamilton will scrimmage for the first time. We're going to look at their offensive scheme of things. Tim Rosenbaugh, former number 1 pick, will lead offensively Hamilton through this first series. Joey Yock, the slot back. He is the son of Saskatchewan head coach Ray Yock, and the rest of the talented receiving corps on this Hamilton football team. Rosenbaugh back to pass. He threw for 397 yards, finds Winfield inside the 40 at the 39. Carl Anthony making the play there on Winfield.
Baltimore defense right here. Malcolm Goodwin, the great outside linebacker. Pressbury, Gabine in the backfield all day. Bayless, who's all by himself out there. O.J. Brigance, Goodwin, and they look great. The defensive backs, Irvin Smith, who made the great tackle. You see him right there, Anthony Brooks. Here we go.
Here's Rosenbaugh rolling out. Looks left. Throws down the sidelines. It's caught out of bounds. The officials rule it out of bounds. Joey Yock, the intended receiver. And they'll bring it back. 2nd and 10.
Charles Anthony on good coverage that time, but again, that was a great throw by Tim. He really threw it right on the money. Close call.
Right, threw it behind the receiver, really, to give him a shot, because he saw he was the one looking. And Rosenbaugh, who's had a struggle, really came out of it last week with this new 5-receiver offense, throwing for almost 400 yards, 397 yards, and he'll be a test for this Baltimore defensive backfield.
2nd and 10 from the 39. Rosenbaugh drops straight back to pass this time. Over the middle. And his pass intended for number 17, Ted Aver, and sails over his head. Incomplete, a punting situation.
Ken Watson making the coverage on that one. In the NFL, let me say one thing. Watch this. Watch number 33 up in the top of the corner right here. That could have been very easily pass interference.
It was pass interference. It just wasn't called.
It wasn't called.
I noticed they don't call holding as close in this league, and they don't call pass interference as close either.
Osbaldiston back to punt. He is not only their punter, but their place kicker as well. One setback, and to receive the punt, Smith, it bounces in front of him. Now has to field it on a bounce inside his own 20, 25. Tries to get to the 30-yard line and puts the ball right there at the hash mark at the 30.
On that return right there, you can see number 86 from the Baltimore team avoiding the clip. Now watch this ball bouncing around there. It looks like it's on AstroTurf. You got to catch that ball first, look it in, then tuck it in. Almost breaks it through here, breaks to the outside. Now watch 86 coming in, throwing his arms up in the air. Could have had a clip on that one.
Well, this is Lester Smith's first game, replacing Stan Petrie, who had a neck problem and couldn't get ready in the short week. And I'm sure he was very nervous. Didn't want to start with a fumble like that.
Nick Subis with snap. Tracy Ham straight back to pass. Looks, finds a receiver to Paludu at the 39-yard line, and that will be close to a first down.
Baltimore offense right here. Tracy Ham, Pringle, the big fullback, Dewey Paluto, Armstrong, Beals, Wilson, Britton on the outside. Line you can see right there. Where I just call him poor.
Second and 1 from the 39. Big game for Tracy Ham. Now completing 107 of 184 up the middle. There's a first down. Pringle now dances by a tackler inside Hamilton territory before he's pulled down at the 53-yard line. Big first down, and Pringle, the leading rusher, next to Tracy Ham on this Baltimore Football Club with a big gain there.
Nice little quick trap up the middle. Caught the linebacker too deep. Number 59, Mike O'Shea, didn't step up into the hole. And it was a nice gain for Mike Pringle, the second leading rusher now. Tracy Ham passed him last week.
That's right. Right back to pass. Good protection. Ham looks deep, and nobody there. The pass possibly intended there for Chris Armstrong, but it was way over his head and sailed out of bounds.
I'll tell you, Eddie Britton was open wide over the middle. Somebody had a miscue on the pass pattern. As you can see, Tracy Ham throwing it deep over his head. It looked like it was supposed to be a takeoff pattern, Stan, and but Britton was right over the middle, hooked up in that dead zone.
12:09 left to go, first quarter, first possession for Baltimore. Ham with some good protection, looks over the middle, and catching that ball is Sean Beals for a big first down. They'll move the yardsticks now. Oh yes, down to the 30-yard line.
Sean Beals just releasing inside on that one. Great timing. The reason why this play worked so well is that they had great offensive line protection right there. And Tracy just leads him right over the middle right there.
The way it worked so well is because it got inside release and was running away from Don Odegaard. And Odegaard, a young guy's got to remember that when the guy's down, he's still got to touch him down. He got up and got 5 extra yards on that.
Folks talk about Ham's rushing ability, but his passing efficiency second best in the CFL, and again goes to the air. The intended receiver was Eddie Britton. Ball bounced before got anywhere close to Britton, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 34 for Baltimore.
Tracy Ham is, I guess, underrated in his passing, Jeff, because he does run so well. But you're right, he's completed 58.2% of his passes, which is 2nd in the league. And you look on the other side of the ledger, Hamilton has the lowest pass percentage in the CFL as far as their team completion percentage.
2nd and 10 from the 34. 11:09 left to go, first quarter. Ham drops back. Rush coming from Hamilton, now comes out of the pocket and crosses the line of scrimmage, gets to the 32-yard line before he's tackled by Jeff Fields, number 95 of the Ticats.
Well, it looks like it'll be a field goal attempt now. It'll be well within range of Iggy. It's about to be about a 41-yard attempt, but you know, one thing has been hidden by the fact that we say he's scored every time he's touched the ball, and he's 2nd in the league in points, is he has the, I think, 10th out of 12 percentage of field goals. He's only making 70% of his field goals, which in this day and age is not good enough.
Stan, one of the things that I talked to some of the coaches prior to the game is, he says, be careful, watch our kicking game. We may have a few surprises with some people.
This one will come from the 40-yard line. Igwebite gets it up. He's got the distance. It's good. 3-0 Baltimore. You're watching the CFL on HTS. Baltimore strikes early, and with 10:45 left to go in the first quarter, it is 3-0.
All right, call our Baltimore CF football action at 410-554-1040. You can purchase the rest of the season tickets for $150. 6 games of CFL action at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, August 20th versus the Toronto Argonauts. Fireworks brought to you by First National Bank. The fireworks are going on. Be on the lookout for the 94 CFL 5-and-3 game mini plans, which really go on sale August the 18th. Again, call us at 554-1040, that OIRS number, to purchase tickets for August 20th. With a pregame beach party we're going to have. We had a country western party out here this week. Next week we're going to have it, and we're featuring the Rumba Club starting at 5 p.m. and game time at 7:30.
The Rumba Club?
Rumba.
Are you going to Rumba?
Yes, I'm going to Rumba.
All right, let's get ready to Rumba.
The Hamilton Ticats, John Gregory. He's also the director of football operations, is Running the show in Hamilton, hired as the 14th head coach in Ticat history. And again, as we mentioned, they're celebrating their 125th anniversary this season in the CFL.
Some talk about his job security earlier when he started 0-4 at the press conference this week. He spoke to that, but like any coach, all he could say is, I can't worry. Sound like Johnny Oates. I can't worry about things like that. All I can do is win games.
Well, we talked about the Grey Cup earlier. He has won one CFL championship, and that means the Grey Cup back to the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 1989. The Ticats will scrimmage the football for the first time from the 35-yard line. Rosenbach takes the snap from center, and there's a whistle and a flag on the play.
Hamilton runs the ball about 20% of the time, so you're taking a look at 80% passing, 20% run. When they have the one-back offense, now when they have the two-back offense, they're running a little bit more, about 30%. That's the statistics that come, from the coaching staff.
No penalties.
86 degrees at game time.
I guess they just weren't ready, Jeff.
No, I guess not. Rosenbach, hands on. Off tackle goes John Hood. Rosenbach hands off to number 20. And he looks like he's picked up a couple.
Brought down by Matt Goodwin.
That was a nice tackle on that play. Closed well by Matt Goodwin, the Will linebacker. Here's a guy that's 6 foot 205 and can run a 4.340. Watch him close into the hole right here and drive the runner backwards, which is always what you want to do from a defensive standpoint. Make him go the other way.
Second down passing situation for Hamilton. Rosenbach, some good protection. Throws. And the pass intended for number 24, John Hood. And defending on the play was number 9 for Baltimore, Charles Anthony.
Anthony, probably one of the real leaders on that defensive ball club out there. He got ejected from the game last week. We're still trying to figure what he did to get ejected. Stan, I could never see in the movies what happened.
No, I think they just figured it was a fight. They had to be two to fight, and they picked him out to throw out. That's all I can figure. There was no rhyme or reason.
Guys, someone suggested that the fact that he entered into the melee without his helmet on might have been the reason for his ejection. Lester Smith will field it at the 30. And he's bumped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And the Baltimore will scrimmage for the second time, leading 3-0. 9:36 left to go in the first quarter.
One of the things that the fan has got to remember here is they've got to give them that 5-yard area to catch the balls, because there are no fair catches. You have to return it. So, 41-yard kick.
They got to remember that, you'll see that in the NFL. Nobody will ever touch the ball once it hits the ground. But here you have to, because if you don't, the punter can go all the way down, and he can recover it, and it's their ball if he does that. So you got to pick it up and run.
He's the only one that can actually encroach the 5-yard, no yards situation in the CFL. The receivers, punt receiver, allowed 5 yards. There's no fair catch.
Good running by Pringle again this time, right up the middle. Gives a couple of jukes, almost breaks a big gainer, picked up almost 9 yards on this. Again, watch him up there. Right, quick trap right up the middle, picks the hole, bounce to the outside. Good running. Pringle's got that low gravity, Stan. He can really dig it in. He's got great speed.
If the linebacker doesn't move, they can run that all day.
Tracy Ham hands off, and immediately met by a host of Hamilton tacklers, led by Reggie Rogers.
Somebody missed a block there. They ran a trap and didn't block back. And the defensive lineman just closed and made the tackle. Reggie Rogers and Jeff Fields, number 95.
That sets up a punting situation, the first of the football game for Baltimore. That means number 22, Josh Miller's on the field. Winfield, number 1 for Hamilton, and number 12, Dave Donnell, will be back to receive the punt.
Josh Miller averaging about a little over 42 yards a kick.
Got some help last week in that desert air. That one almost blocked. Winfield at the 35 dances away from a couple of oncoming tacklers before he's immediately hit, and there's a flag on the play. Matt Goodwin leading the charge for Baltimore.
Yeah, they were too close, and that happens when they're on a short punt. If the punter does not hit the ball well, it puts the receiver, the cover men, in a bad position because they're running full speed. All of a sudden, the receiver runs up to catch the ball. They almost got to stop and go into reverse. Earlier in the season, what they did is they ran away from the punt returner, and it ended up in 2 long punt returns for touchdowns. Now watch the short punt. You'll see the problem as he comes up. Watch the receivers coming down. Now they try to stop, but they don't want to go away from their lanes. And you end up number 39, Matt Goodwin, is just too close on the play and ends up to be a penalty on the CFL team, the Baltimore CFLers.
Guys, we're going to have to keep an eye here on Hassan Bailey, who came awfully close to blocking that punt.
Don't miss the exciting action of college
just a few moments ago.
And that's why the kick was short, because he had to pull that leg up a little quicker, and he couldn't get that extended leg to be able to get the ball through, his leg through to the ball, and otherwise I think it would have been blocked.
It had something to do with a short punt, no doubt about it. I've done pretty good. I've hesitated a couple times, but I haven't said Colts yet.
It's tough. It really is tough. And especially with the announcer, I'm saying the Baltimore CFL,
and the crowd goes
nuts.
Hamilton will be first down from their own 51-yard line.
There's one thing we haven't touched on, as they showed a picture of Don Matthews on the screen, Jeff, is this could be his 100th win in the CFL tonight. He would just become the 6th coach ever to win 100 games, and you talked about Joey Yock, his father Ray Yock, one of those coaches, as well as one that a lot of people in the States are familiar with, and Bud Grant, a member of both the CFL and NFL Hall of Fame.
Right. Bud Grant coached in Canada before going to the Minnesota Vikings for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Won several Grey Cup championships. Had a quarterback that was also a star in U.S. college football by the name of Kenny Payne. And that will be a name that football fans in the U.S. would be certainly familiar with. But Bud Grant, after an illustrious career in Winnipeg, went to the NFL, Minnesota, got his teams into a number of championship games, but never could win the big one.
Well, he's the only one that would reach 100 faster than Don Matthews. So.
Rosenbach, good protection, stands at his 40, throws over the middle, and caught by number 8 Hill, and he's immediately tackled at the 55-yard line.
Charles Anthony coming across on the coverage. Again, that play last week, Stan, if you remember correctly, that's the play that sort of killed our offense. They do that trailer underneath there. That middle linebacker has got to be able to pick that guy up and knock him off his stride.
Well, it's almost a weakness of the defense, Tom. If you allow him that much time to cross, the middle linebacker's either got to jump that man or stay put. Now, Don Matthews says he's supposed to stay in the middle to help other people. If he's going to do that and not get pressure, that'll be open all day.
Rosenbach again. Back to pass. He threw for 397 yards last week and went over Shreveport. This time, the intended receiver was Ed Ware, and the ball thrown out of bounds.
And again, people have got to realize when you're watching this game, boy, two downs and you're out. Again, they did not get the first down and 3 downs, and the punting team comes on the field.
This is where you watch for something funny here.
Yes.
They're across the midfield line. It's only a couple yards to go. I'd keep my eyes open if I were on the Baltimore special teams at this point.
Paul Osbaldiston set to kick to Lester Smith. The old punt receiver back for Baltimore, and it's a short end over end kick that bounces out at the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Baltimore from the 30. No return on the 24-yard punt by Osbaldiston.
He's kicked, what, 3 times now, and you mentioned he does both the place kicking and the punting. Well, his punts look like place kicks. They're going end over end, so he's got to get his head wired right and see, remember which one he's supposed to be doing.
Well, the offense comes back on the field with Tracy Ham, but I'll tell you, that was just he was trying to do a coffin corner kick over there, kick it out of bounds, but it came off the side of his foot. And that's when you end up with those short 24-yard kicks. Gives us halfway decent position.
Tough for a right footer to kick a kick off to his right.
Baltimore in the I formation. Now the receivers wide left and right. Short screen pass to Tupeluto from Tracy Ham, and he will pick up 4 or 5 yards.
That's 7, I think it is. But he stepped out of bounds. If he'd been watching where he was there, he could have had the first down easily.
Yeah, almost maybe even closer to 8 or 9 yards on the play. But Tracy getting around the corner caused that to be a successful play because the linebacker had to keep dropping as the further Tracy Ham got out for the wide receiver behind him and opened up for Tupeluto.
Something a little different here. Coach Matthews telling us before the game was going to go with the twin running backs in this game. Different situation, and Tupeluto with a big first down.
Same play.
In the Hamilton territory at the 50-yard line.
This is what Don Matthews likes to do. He likes to run the same play and just give him a different look. As you mentioned, Jeff, they all lined up in the backfield, shifted out late, had a little tighter formation, and this time Tupeluto again on the see the fake one way. He comes all the way across the formation and comes out. and it's a bootleg pass, and he's wide open. The linebacker got fooled and went the wrong direction.
Much different formations we're seeing here early than we certainly saw in Las Vegas in the win over the Posse. Hand off to Pringle. Pringle now caught in the backfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it.
A 22-yard gain on that last play. This time it was just another counteraction play, and Pringle tried to get to the outside. Defensive end, the rush end was right there waiting for him. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, brings up a second down and 10 yards.
That's the running play off of the pass that we just saw. It was designed to go inside, but that end got good penetration, forced him to cut outside, and then there's no blockers out there. And it had to be did a good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 from the 50. All the receivers out right, rolling right. Tracy Ham, and his pass intended for Eddie Britton. And it hits the ground in front of Britton, and that will set up a punting situation.
Well, this game is a lot of times just decisions, and Tracy really made a bad decision on that. Walter Wilson was standing well beyond the first down marker. Nobody on him. His man had really fallen off his coverage, and Tracy threw one step too early before he could see that.
Donnell and Winfield once more back to receive. Josh Miller's second bunt of the football game. He'll let this one go from the Baltimore 50. 3-0 the score. Here's a short snap to Paluto now. Fakes the handoff. Now dishes it out. And there's a loose football bouncing inside Baltimore territory. And coming up that football is Charles Anthony.
I told you to watch for the trickery today.
That was Tui Paluto's fault. That was supposed to be a rugby play. There was going to be 2 laterals off that. It was going to be Tui Paluto to the first back and then all the way out to Charles Anthony on another lateral. But for some reason, Tui Paluto thought he could fake the lateral and get the yardage himself. He did not execute the play as it was designed, and ended up trying to lateral it too late and was being tackled, and the ball just fell to the ground. We'll see it here on this replay, Tom. Watch it. If you can see, go the wrong way. You see, there's supposed to be one. He does not get the ball out there. As you can see, there's one man, and the second one is supposed to be out here to Charles Anthony. They felt he'd go all the way down the sidelines and may even score on the play. They called it a rugby play.
Well, Hamilton will certainly get some great offensive field position from here as a result. Earlier today, a big announcement here in Baltimore. CFL Commissioner Larry Smith made the announcement that here at Memorial Stadium in '97, the Grey Cup game will be played.
But I'm very pleased to say it's the 1997 Grey Cup will be played here in Baltimore. I would like to congratulate Jim, and I'd like to thank Jim. Because when we took the vote on 96 and 97, it was unanimous vote. And Jim's a very competitive guy, as you can tell. I mean, I've had to start weightlifting again because Jim is so big, and I mean, I was starting to atrophy. You know what happens when you get over 40 is your chest and your forehead start to cave in, and I didn't want to catch up to Tom Maddie too quickly. Sorry, Tom, you saw me coming at you. But I just want to say that through the whole process, the governors were fantastic, and Jim Spiros showed tremendous leadership and maturity in supporting the Hamilton bid and, of course, supporting his bid for 1997.
There he is, the president and owner of your Baltimore CFLers, Jim Spiros, watching from the sideline, close to the Baltimore bench. Here's Rosenbach. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right from the 45, lets it go before he is decked. And Winfield, the intended receiver, number 57 for Baltimore, with a terrific effort there for Baltimore. He went after Rosenbaum, but it was Carl Anthony, the defender, on the play.
And he really should, Earl Winfield should have caught this ball. I mean, he's making big plays like this. You'll see the defender gets turned around. There's Winfield right there. This just does not judge it well, and it goes off his fingertips. That's a play that you'd expect him to make, Tom.
O.J. Brigance with a big play defensively, Tom. I'll tell you what, he got to Rosenbaum in a hurry.
He's the quickest guy rush in we have right there.
Again, they get to Rosenbaum. He's got to throw it away.
Ricky Andrews in that time, putting the pressure on. They've got to go for the field goal. Again, those linebackers coming with the blitz, keeping the pressure on, Tim.
Well, when they get down into field position, that's when Baltimore tends to blitz, when they get across the line. And Ricky Andrews, who he struggled a little bit, missing tackles and so forth against Vegas, did a nice job there because, again, the receiver was wide open. and it was the pressure that caused the incompletion.
Tracy Gravely also in on that run. Osbaldiston with a field goal attempt from the 45. Ball is snapped, it's down, he's got distance, but it's wide. Goes through the hands of number 81, Chris Armstrong, and through the end zone, so that will be a 1-point single on the wide field goal attempt. Rouge, if you will. And it's now a 3-1 football game.
They were pretty lucky he missed that. He looked like he was going to try to run it out, and he was almost 20 yards deep in the end zone.
That would have been a little crazy.
Yeah.
The ball comes back. Here's the kick again. Plenty of strong leg in this, but he kicks it off to the right, as you'll see it go to the right side. Armstrong back there goes right to his arms and bounces out. And that's what we call a rouge.
3-1 the score. Baltimore in front. They will scrimmage.
Why is it called
37-yard line? 1st and 10.
Why is it called a rouge, Jeff?
Wide field goal. Tracy Ham, all the receivers rolling left, as does Ham. Ham with a short pass intended for Armstrong. Incomplete.
As much as we thought this was going to be an up and down the field game, both offenses have struggled so far in this first quarter. Tracy has not been able to get much going, and Rosenbaugh has not been able to dent the Baltimore pass defense, which has struggled over this season so far.
Is right. Tracy's got to take this game in command right now himself. Put some pressure on those linebackers. Get a little run in here, scrambling around a little bit, put some pressure and get them downfield.
Tracy banged up a little bit here. Of course, he's starting. He's injured a foot against Las Vegas. We haven't seen him run as much. And there's a pass intended for Eddie Britton in and out of his hands. Defending on the play was Eric Carter. But the situation with Ham, he left the football game at halftime. Might have suffered a little food poisoning, but was nursing a foot injury coming into today's ball game. And I wonder if that's a factor why he's not running as much as we've seen him run in the past.
Well, it might be a factor in that, and also in the fact that he can't plant when he throws the ball. He threw that going backwards and threw it behind the receiver and allowed Eric Carter to break up the pass.
Josh Miller standing at his own 22 from the 25, gets a good foot into this one. Winfield at his own 45, away from the oncoming rush. On the left hash marks, he's pulled down at the 30-yard line, and Gravely leads the swarm of Baltimore tacklers. Also in there, Tupeluto.
49-yard kick on that, a 6-yard return.
Well, it's pretty good if you hold him a 6-yard return when you got to stay 5 yards away. I think you say you did your job, right?
The special teams, that's what they have to do. This kicking game is such an integral part of the whole scheme of the CFL. If you have a good kicking game, you're always in the game, I think.
Yeah, it's much more involved in the game than it is in NFL football, especially with the goalpost being right on the goal line itself.
1st and 10. Rosenbaugh throws a short screen pass. That one is caught. And a big gain there for Dave Donnell. He'll be short of a first down, picking up 8 yards. And that'll depend where they spot the football.
Again, Stan, that time that was a middle screen, but the offensive lineman was downfield. He was almost down the field, the 8 yards, when the ball was thrown.
Yeah, that takes advantage of the ego of the defensive lineman. Even though they don't get blocked, they should know better, but they're saying, oh, I'm going to get to that quarterback, and the reason they didn't block me was because I put such a good move on him.
2:40 left to go. Rosenbaugh takes the snap from center, throws another short screen pass in and out of the hands of Yacht. And defending on the play was Michael Brooks. So it'll be a 3rd down situation.
That was almost a fake quarterback sneak, and then he popped up to throw a sort of a jump pass over the middle. He ducked down like he was going to run the ball.
I remembered I did that in flag football in college when I was playing a jump ball. You know, you jump up and throw that pop pass and drop back and throw the deep one.
Flag football in college?
Yes.
I said Brooks was the defender on the flag. Actually, it was number 7, Gravely. I didn't see, or I thought I saw, the number 1. This is Lester Smith. 25, 30, dances his way to the 32 before he's pulled down by Steve McKee. And Baltimore will scrimmage 1st and 10. The kick 49 yards, the return 10. 1st down Baltimore. The ball between the hash marks at the 33-yard line.
The old dog right there, Bubba Smith.
Oh, Bubba, he was finishing his career here when I got here in '72, Tom, and of course so were you.
Yes.
But that was the year Bubba got hurt down at Tampa.
Wrapped that team.
Sued the NFL and sued everybody, but it sure shortened his career because he was a great player up to that point.
Tracy Ham, straight back to pass, has some good protection, throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of Eddie Britton. Defending on the play, number 14 for the Hamilton Ticats, Adrian Smith.
You know, it's funny, Jeff, the last two plays that Ham has thrown have been broken up by Eric Carter the last play, and then Adrian Smith this play. Watch his hand get in there. These are two guys that last week, together, both cornerbacks started their first pro game ever. They had so many injuries in their defensive secondary, and they're obviously playing well.
That was great coverage on that play.
Ham, straight back to pass. Good protection. Again, throws over the middle. This one intended for Sean Beals, and there's a flag on the play. Pass interference, perhaps?
Oh, he grabbed him, Eaglin. And the play before they grabbed, too, I was just getting ready to comment, I've never seen so many shirts pulled out with no holding calls. You watch Greg Eaglin, number 13, if we can see it, coming over the middle. He grabs his jersey. You see him pull him back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he knew he was beaten. He knew if he caught the ball that it was going to go for a long area. Watch it right there. See the receiver jump back towards the defender? Now he puts his hand up to say that was just great defense when it was illegal. You are caught.
You know, Jeff, that's one of the first times I've seen pass defense call this year. It's really a call. You know, it's so prevalent in the NFL. CFL, these defensive backs sort of have a free rein.
That one was very blatant. Tough to let go. Ham, again, over the middle. This one is caught by the big guy in the last game for Baltimore, Walter Wilson, who made the catch of the evening against the Las Vegas Posse. Another big reception here to put Baltimore into Hamilton territory at the 45. Walter Wilson.
Well, if we can watch Todd Wiseman, see number 6, he faked up early and then had to run all the way back to his position. He was in no position with his feet to jump the crossing pattern with a free safety he's supposed to do. He should be there a lot quicker than that to make the play, but because he was trying to disguise his defense, he caught himself out of position.
22 yards for Walter Wilson, and that'll add to his leading receiving numbers, coming into the game with 372 yards on 23 catches, 2 touchdowns. Ham from the 55, cut by Tupeluto at the 40, and that'll be a gain of about 5 yards.
Again, when you come up with a 2nd and 5, it does put the defense in a different position because they can get the run by the first down by the run or the pass. So it really puts a little more pressure, holds those linebackers in there a little bit longer looking for the run. So Tracy has an option to do either thing in this situation.
Eddie Britt, Washington, and Beals all flanked out to the left. Walter Wilson to the short side. Pringle now goes in motion. Here's a high pass that was intended for Walter Wilson. That one caught him by surprise, a little higher than what he wanted.
Well, he'd beaten Adrian Smith to the inside, and Smith got turned around. Walter Wilson just getting out of his break. Watch him. He beats him to the inside. He gets turned off of this, breaks through. Now watch, he just looks up, and the ball hits him right in the face mask. Either he threw it too hard, or he just could not pick up the ball coming from through the defensive lineman, offensive lineman. Most likely, he couldn't pick up the ball too late now.
I think when he was coming off, he was looking at that linebacker coming across from him, and he looked up just a little too late. That ball, Tracy drilled that right into his head.
This one from the 47 for Igwe Bike. He again has the distance, and it's good. 6-1 Baltimore with 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. All right, how about a hand for myself, says Iggy. And he gets some high fives from his teammates. Baltimore leads 6-1 here in the closing seconds of quarter 1.
Here's a great shot of watching Iggy kick it. Watch the leg extension going through. John Kajemi holding right there. Iggy gets right through the ball, drills it right through the uprights for the 3-pointer.
He almost punches it, doesn't he, Tom?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the long fluid swing, but it's sort of a punch, and then the ball. We saw last week at Vegas with that punch. He hit one real hard. Remember, it sailed on him, went off to the right, and that does it sometimes when you punch the ball.
Here's Rosenbaum with a pass over the middle, defending
back
on the
ball.
play, and we're going to get a pass interference that will go the other way this time. And it looks like it's against Ken Watson.
I think if you get a chance to see this, Watson went right up over the top, but gets his hand in the middle stand. I think this is a good defensive play. Let's see.
I do too. I think he came around, got the ball first before he made contact. and then he comes over his back. I don't think he made contact first, and this guy's calling from behind, which he cannot possibly see. It's the official, the very up left-hand corner. He couldn't possibly see if he hit the guy in the back or not from that angle.
Foul was against Baltimore. Now from the 45.
So that'll make it 1st and 10 now from the 45. You cannot end a quarter on a penalty, so this will be the last play of quarter 1. This time, Watson makes it legal as he pulls Hill down with a reception. And there's the gun to end the first quarter of play. Baltimore leading Hamilton 6-1. You're watching the CFL on HTS. Joining you here for CFL football on HTS. A look at the numbers in the first quarter. Baltimore with 5 first downs to Hamilton's 2 yards rushing. You can see not too many passing yards. Baltimore with an edge there. Back to the live action here now. And that was Rosenbaugh on the keeper into midfield.
And they got a flag on the play.
The way Baltimore is reacting.
It's on Baltimore, yes.
It's against the CFLers. But let's see here.
Yeah, they'll take the penalty instead of the play because they'll get the down back. May even be a first down. It is, yeah.
Great story, Rosenbaugh. We got to look at Coach Don Matthews, #1 draft pick. One time was in the hospital, woke up, didn't know where he was or what had happened, came back from a severe concussion, tore up his shoulder, tore up his knee, left football, and is back here trying after a year's absence. Another first down into Baltimore territory. Dave Donnell before he is hit by Tracy Gravely.
And Kenny Watson comes in and really nails him, too. Good hard tackle. Picks up about 5 yards on the play. But again, he had all the time in the world, that offensive line doing a good job of protecting quarterback. Pressure's in here, so just a little dump over there. Now watch the tackles on this. This is where you don't like these guys, and I sure don't. Watch Watson coming in up. Didn't get a chance to see him. He really comes in and nails him.
Burbage wide left. Winfield to the short side. Rosenbaugh looks and throws. Intended on the play for Hill. Defending for Baltimore was Matt Goodwin.
And again, pressure. Baltimore doing more blitzing. And as you may have known, Hamilton's next to last in the league in protecting their quarterback. Baltimore got good pressure and a nice play, nice close by Matt Goodwin. That is that 4-3 speed we talked about. He made up ground while the ball was in the air. Again, O.J. Bergrants was the pressure.
Osbaldiston. Back to punt once more for Hamilton. He'll let this one go for the 52, and he gets a great punt away. Lester Smith deep in the end zone. He'll go down to one knee and concede the 1 point. The Rouge. And it's 6-2.
Well, they only need 4 more Rouges to catch up.
57-yard punt, no return. 6-2 Baltimore over Hamilton.
I guess we could have expected Baltimore to put more pressure on Rosenbaugh than the other way around. Baltimore is tied for the least number of sacks given up in the league with 7, while Hamilton has given up 18, and only Sacramento has given up more with 21. So the protection of the quarterback is holding true to form tonight.
Well, Tracy Ham's got to make something happen in this series of downs. He's got to get this offense rolling. It's sort of been stagnated all this first quarter and into the second quarter. So we've got to get some offense rolling right now.
Tracy Ham with a lone setback. And that's Pringle. Hands off to Pringle. Finds some running room to the 40. Gets to the 43-yard down before he throws the football out of the ground. And that one will look like a good 8-yard gain before he's pulled down by Hassan Bailey.
Well, nice little delay, little draw play. It holds the middle linebacker back, and he does not. He comes out and misses the tackle. Mike O'Shea, who is one of their leading tackler, as a matter of fact, and was one of the rookies of the year last year in the CFL.
Again, Pringle, he's got the first down, gets to the 50, still on his feet to the 53-yard line. Great second effort by Mike Pringle, who has 708 all-purpose yards, had 708 all-purpose yards coming into the football game here. That's a great run.
Well, they found a soft spot, Tom, in the middle of the line. They're running right between the tackles and the middle linebacker. See it right here. They're just getting a push. He's run right up that middle. Nice legs churned. And we're talking about Reggie Rogers, a former #1 draft pick, who's 6'6", 285. Jeff Fields from Arkansas State, who's 6'3", 320. And then Mike O'Shea, who was a fine rookie for him last year at outside, is making the transition to middle linebacker this year.
Baltimore got only 3 yards rushing in the first half, but they're very impressive here in the early moments. And again, running is Pringle, who will pick up another good 8 yards for Baltimore here. Gets to the 50 of Hamilton. Michael O'Shea with the tackle on Pringle.
Well, what's going to happen now is that defensive line has got to start to respect this run, and that's going to open up the pass routes to the outside. And that'll let Tracy get around to the outside, to the wide side of the field. 2nd down and 3 right now.
It's also going to bring the middle linebacker up, which will open the crossing and curl patterns behind him.
Again, Ham to Pringle. 50, dances to the 45, away from the tackle, and gets to the 42-yard line. Another first down for Baltimore.
Good running. This kid's got the leg drive. He's got that great quickness. They just do that student body left on this one over here. And, boy, I'll tell you something. That makes those defensive linebackers and everybody move out. Good blocking at the point of attack. Pringle cuts back against the grain. And, again, good balance with his legs. Watch how he keeps them driving. Well, that's what makes a great back.
Yeah, Subas just handling O'Shea. You can see there. He knocked him back, made him spin around. He was 8 yards back.
Will Pringle come again? If you got something going for you, go for it. This time a pass. Wide open, Walter Wilson. 10-5 touchdown.
There is a flag on the play. I don't know what happened, but I think we might have been offside.
Walter Wilson undressed the defender on the play, Adrian Smith. We'll wait and see how they call it. It's against Baltimore. They'll bring back the football. Oh, my.
Talk about big plays going against the home team right here. Again, Tracy Ham setting up there, just drops in.
Well, you bring him up with the run, Tom. Everybody starts creeping up, and then you hit that quick slant seam pattern. Wilson wide open, but unfortunately, we had somebody get offsides on the play.
I think it was Walter Wilson. Anticipated the count on that one. Tracy got his hand bumped on that one.
1st and 15. 10:33 left to go, 2nd quarter. The first big play of the ball game comes back on the penalty against Baltimore. Ham drops back to pass, throws a short screen pass to Paluto. Tackled at the 45-yard line.
That time, Hamilton was coming with the blitz, trying to put some pressure on Tracy Ham. Good man-to-man coverage on that backside, following back to the inside. No room for Paluto to run the ball.
Well, that's a good play against the blitz, that little flanker screen. If you make one guy miss, but Terry Wright, a 4th-year outside linebacker from Temple, made a nice play getting up under and making the tackle.
Wilson and Armstrong in motion right. Ham waits, sets up, out of the pocket. He's at the 50, now throws a short pass. Tupelo wide open, 25-yard line, and then he's pulled out. The secondary receiver was wide open, and Tupelo with a big gain from Tracy Ham.
Again, a hard ball to throw. Tracy rolling to his right. Tupelo setting up right in the middle on that one. And you'll be able to see it right here. Watch Tracy. Nobody's open right there. Pumps that in. Tupelo releases back to the inside, right in that dead spot. Picks up 21 yards on the pass play.
Yeah, O'Shea blew it again. He had him, and then he left him to come up for Tracy Ham, and he was wide open, which made that a lot easier throw.
Ham looks at the sidelines. He was intending that pass for Walter Wilson. Adrian Smith right there, and those two have had a battle all night long.
Here's where Baltimore's had trouble all year, is down here inside this, what they call the red zone, anytime thing inside that 25-yard line, and they've got to get more than just 3 points out of it. They need the touchdown right now.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Big 2nd down with 9:09 remaining in this first half. Ham drops back, looks to the end zone, touchdown, wide open. Baltimore gets a TD from Chris Armstrong.
Oh, yes.
23 yards for the touchdown. Ham to Armstrong, and Baltimore now leads 12-2, pending the extra point for Armstrong. He's averaged 19.1 yards
per reception, and he's right about there again. Right down the seam, gets that strong side safety, the middle safety over to the left side, splits the seam right down there, wide open for the touchdown pass, 21 yards.
Little rub off. They had two receivers to the one side. They crossed on each other, and Greg Eaglin, number 13, lost his man, and there was nobody in the middle to help. No free safety.
Igwebuike's extra point attempt is up and good. 13-2 Baltimore, 8:53 remaining in the second half. You're watching the CFL on HTS. Well, that's the sign of a pretty good football club. You have a big play taken away from you, but you come right back and get the points anyway.
And this is what makes you a competitor in the CFL, is because you've got to come up with the big plays. As I said earlier, Tracy Ham had to rise to the occasion, and boy, he split that seam 2 times in a row, 2 touchdowns, 1 called back. But boy, we needed that score.
Here's something that certainly Baltimore football fans should be well aware of, as you got to look at Don Matthews approaching the 100th win as a head coach in the CFL. Frank Clair, the all-time leader, former Ottawa Rough Riders head coach. Eagle Keys, the longtime coach of the BC Lions. Bud Grant, as we mentioned, spent some time in Winnipeg before going on to the Minnesota Vikings in the NFL. Ray Yock, who won quite a few games for the Edmonton Eskimos, now head coach of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. His son playing for Hamilton here tonight. And Bobo Velovich, who spent time out in Vancouver with the BC Lions, with the Toronto Argonauts and the Ottawa Rough Riders, now back in Toronto. And there is Don Matthews, who tonight with a victory will reach that 100-win plateau.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we see a little bottle of Gatorade dropped on his head for this 100 win. If he can hold on. It's only 13-2, and every time I start talking about we're going to win, I'm not going to do it.
Well, we talked about the press conference this week with Don Matthews. He thinks it's just the game itself. With 2 downs, it's tough to hold the league, but I think it's a combination of the game, and also the team's got to be able to put people away.
Stan, you know, you talk about Memorial Stadium. This field, I don't think I ever played on it when it looked this good. Did you?
No, because we practice on it every day. We had to call it Astro Dirt.
Igwebuike will let it go from the 35. Winfield and Donnell back to receive it. Stepping up Winfield at the 26. Heads to the middle. Winfield now looking for some running room. He's got a couple blockers behind him, and he'll get just shy of the 40-yard line before being pulled down at the 38. And leading the tacklers was Sheldon Canley.
13-yard return on that one. That's what they try to do, is they try to start on this weak side, the short side of the field, and then give him enough room to turn that corner, picking up 13 yards on a punt return. Good return.
Well, they must know that they return the ball towards Baltimore's right, because they're kicking the ball all the way to the left and force him to run all the way across the field, which is what you want him to do. But if he breaks that seam, it could be big yardage.
Rosenbaum, hands off, and there's a big gain for John Hood of the Ticats. Looks like they'll spot it at the 45, make it 46-yard line, and it's a gain of 6.5 yards.
John Hood is the leading rusher, Stan, on the team. He's had 32 carries for 160 yards, averaging about 5 yards per carry. Again, that time he picked up 7.
I was going to say the exact same thing, Tom, and also point out that he's the leading ball carrier despite the fact that he missed the first 2 games of the season.
Rosenbaum, good protection. Looks deep. The pass intended for Hill, and defending all the way for the Baltimore CFLers was Matt Goodwin, and there's just another illustration of his tremendous speed, Stan White.
Well, you got a guy, they call him a will linebacker, and he's all the way downfield covering a wide receiver. It shows you speed, versatility, just great athletic ability. The ball should have been caught, though, and you're going to get mismatches when you have 5 wide receivers in the game. Fortunately, Baltimore has the type of players in, quote, a mismatch that can handle it, like a Matt Goodwin.
3rd down and 5 from the 45. Osbaldiston lets one go, and again, another excellent punt. Lester Smith at his 15, 20. Dances away from a couple of Ticat tacklers, still on his feet. Gets to the 25-yard line before he's pulled down.
Lester Smith better learn to keep that ball tucked in a little bit more on that one. It was a 51-yard punt with a 12-yard return by Lester. Again, watch how he's carrying this ball, Jeff. He starts getting it outside. See how he's handling that ball out there? Anybody can knock that out. You've got to tuck it away. Be careful. When he gets in the crowd, you got to tuck it under that arm.
So we talk in terms of the long history and tradition of the Grey Cup. The most Grey Cup wins, certainly a rival for Baltimore in baseball, and now Toronto, the Argonauts, 19 titles. Toronto, by the way, will be here on August the 20th. The Argonauts in town, right here at the stadium. Hamilton has 14 Grey Cup victories. They're second. The Edmonton Eskimos, we mentioned Ray Yock, certainly Ron Lancaster, Hugh Campbell, some great coaches in Edmonton. Campbell, of course, left Edmonton. He's now back there as a GM. Left Edmonton to be the head coach of the Houston Oilers. Winnipeg has 10 Grey Cup victories. Ottawa Rough Riders. And John Gregory has a victory as a head coach with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders back in 1989.
Well, he actually left the Edmonton Oilers to coach in the USFL as the Los Angeles
Eskimos.
Express.
Eskimos.
I'm getting the
Oilers or hockey?
Yeah, I sound like Jeff Rimmer now, mixing my hockey in there somewhere. They've been around you too long, I guess, huh? Well, we're getting ready here pretty soon, I know.
7:33 remaining in the first half. Baltimore up 13-2. Two Rouges.
We'll miss you here, Jeff. I know you're going to be in sunny Florida, but I know you'll be back to visit us.
And he just bought a new home on a golf course.
Tough life, huh?
But we'll be here doing football. We're not going to give up our fun here with the CFL and you guys, that's for sure.
Hey, everybody at home. How y'all doing? In the house.
At the house?
The house.
Taking it all the way to Vancouver.
That's Gerald Bayless.
Gotta win it. I love you, Jennifer.
7:33 left to go in the second quarter. First down, Baltimore from the 26-yard line. Tracy Ham right behind Nick Subis for this snap. Long count. Ham takes the handoff to Pringle. Looks deep. Throws, intending the pass for Walter Wilson, who was covered on the play by Adrian Smith of the Ticats. That was 2nd and 10.
That was great pass defense on that by Hamilton right there. Good coverage. Walter Wilson trying to get back to the outside. You'll be able to see it right here. On top left corner right here. Watch Walter Wilson trying to get back to the outside. That's great defense. He blocks him off from coming out. Smith doing a good job on the coverage. Tracy Ham having no place to throw the ball.
If they were playing the right technique to take away that pattern, the outside technique.
Ham back to pass. Some great protection here. Looks deep. Armstrong will get back up on his feet. I'll tell you what, that's as good as it gets. In his hands, out of his hands, and he manages to hold on for a big first down. This one, 37 yards from Tracy Ham, number 8 to Armstrong, 81.
Yeah, blitz, all-out blitz, everybody coming, man-to-man coverage. You see this free safety, number 6, up, taking it back. Nobody back there, and it's a nice concentration off his helmet. And Chris Armstrong beats Don Odegaard to the football. He just wanted more.
You talk about concentration. That was concentration plus. Off his hands, off his helmet, and still with the presence of mind to hang on to that football. Pringle, the ball carrier. Tackled by Reggie Rogers.
Well, Reggie just took him like a rag doll and threw him down on that play. Reggie, this has never lived up to his billing coming out of Washington. It was the number one, I think the 7th player picked in the draft. Had tremendous problems at Detroit, but ever since his brother really died, he has not been the same. His brother Don Rogers, the defensive back for the Browns.
2nd and 10. Ham looks left. Now throws over the middle. This one intended for Chris Armstrong. Bounced in front of him. And it'll be a 3rd down situation. Will we see Igwebike or Josh Miller? Miller's on the field, so we're going to see a punt.
They're going to come back to that play because Chris Armstrong was wide open. There was nobody even covering him, and he threw the ball into the dirt.
Tracy Ham on that one just pulled the string a little bit too early on his arm and just got underthrew him because he was wide open, as you said, Stan. It was a good pattern, but it should have been caught. Should have been there.
Earl Winfield, the lone punt returner, who's standing at the goal line. Miller will let this one go from the 53. End over end ball. Winfield standing at his 5, fields it, and he's hit by his own man.
Earl Winfield on the return.
Now there's a flag that's been tossed, but I tell you what, I don't think that should be no yards on that play at all. Winfield asking for it here now. We'll wait and see how they set this one up.
The flag's all the way on the other side of the field.
41-yard kick. A 1-yard return here now. Watch Winfield get hit by his own man here.
Yeah, the receiver was fine. He looked like he was about 5 yards away. The inside man, I couldn't quite tell, but the man who made the tackle was plenty of distance away, and it looks like it's a penalty on Hamilton.
Well, we've got this moment. They sort this one out. Jim Spiros, owner of the Baltimore CFL Football Club, expressed his satisfaction and gratitude at getting the Grey Cup to Baltimore.
First of all, I want to thank the Canadian Football League for giving Baltimore and myself a chance to be in this league. We're not even 6 months old yet, but I think they showed great confidence, the other governors and owners of this league, to give myself and Baltimore the opportunity to host this Grey Cup in 1997. So I thank the Canadian Football League and Larry Smith for giving us this opportunity. Second of all, I want to thank Mayor Schmoke because I wouldn't be sitting here. Something happened very unique back on February 15th when Mayor Schmoke handed me the keys here at Memorial Stadium, and he had the confidence and the vision to see through where I think maybe we've surpassed his expectations where we'd be here 6 months from now.
So the Grey Cup game comes here to Memorial Stadium in 1997, October, the last week of October, the last Sunday of October, and we hope to see you here for that exciting football game.
Jeff, that means an economic impact of our city. We had Wayne Chappell here, Tim Quigley with the Baltimore Convention and Tourism, Matt Miller. These guys helped us put that presentation together to present it to the Board of Governors up in Hamilton, and I'll tell you something, we are very, very happy. It's about a $70 million impact to our city, and it's during the week of Thanksgiving, which really makes it exciting because all the hotels are empty at that time. Everybody's home, but we're going to bring all the Canadians down here and have some fun.
And they're wild. You always have a good time when you're hanging around Canadians.
That's right. Hey?
Rosenbach is end zone. Throws Winfield wide open. Turns away from the oncoming tackler, Carl Anthony. And that should be enough for a first down to move the yardsticks. Indeed, 15-yard reception from Rosenbach to the receiver. And it's a first down.
Big play for Hamilton to get out from under the goalpost. Baltimore elected to go with the all-out blitz, go man-to-man coverage, try to pin them back in their own end zone. And Rosenbach, who really hasn't shown a whole lot yet tonight, was able to hang in there and get the ball to his favorite receiver, Winfield.
Rosenbach rolling left, away from the oncoming rush. He's got some running room, and he will carry. 25, 30, 35, steps out of bounds at the 37-yard line. And that one should be another first down, moving the yardsticks after a 20-yard run. Rosenbach, first down.
Hey, with that cruciate ligament operation, I still think he can scramble out there with all that room out there. You've got room to run to the sideline. Again, setting back up in here, rolling to the left side, seeing the pressure, comes back to the right, and has nothing but open field. Smart man, gets out of bounds. Quarterback shouldn't be hit that hard.
Carl Anthony and Michael Brooks in pursuit.
Well, you see the linebackers coming. There was Ricky Andrews coming up the middle, Alvin Walton coming, and the receivers are going covering man-to-man way downfield. Nobody to get them.
And 10 from the 39, 4:23 left. Rosenbach looking wide open with the catch and stepping out of bounds with what looks like pretty good
short
game. John Hood. That one just short.
9 yards on the play.
Well, it's been a good drive, obviously, for Hamilton so far. I mean, they were in a precarious position back at their own 3-yard line to start this drive, and they quickly are approaching midfield, so they got themselves out of trouble.
And they got themselves in trouble with that unnecessary roughness call. And they're moving the yardsticks here. Rosenbach, the keeper. And he finds little or no running room, but does he get the first down? It'll all depend on where they spot that football.
Again, Jeff, we have to remember here that the defense has to line up 1 yard back from the ball. And with that kind of short yardage situation, the quarterback can almost automatically get the first down every time.
That's the type of play Rosenbach hurt his leg on in practice, just a quarterback sneak, and he was out for the year, and this is right before the season started down in Arizona.
Burbett wide left. Rosenbach handing off on this play. And again, some open field running room there before being pulled down by Malcolm Goodwin.
Well, Malcolm did a good job of taking on the block, outside in, forcing the runner into the hole, and then getting away from the block and making the tackle, because if he doesn't make the tackle, the runner's going to get another 10 or 15 yards because he has a lead blocker coming through that hole.
Coming down on the sideline right now, Mayor Schmoke, Larry Smith, some representatives from the CFL. At halftime, they're going to be able to bring out to the center of the field the Grey Cup, which is an absolute beautiful trophy. It has a lot of tradition. It is great. Jim Spiros on the sideline shaking hands with Mayor Schmoke and Larry Smith down there. Very proud to be able to have the Grey Cup here in 1997. Baltimore should be very happy. That's the Super Bowl of the Canadian Football League.
This year, the Grey Cup game will be played in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Yes.
And Hamilton will get it the year before. And you heard Larry Smith here on HBS a few minutes earlier say that Jim Spiros was certainly very gracious in making the Hamilton bid unanimous. Board of Governors voted on the 96 and 97 Grey Cup games. We thought Baltimore had a shot at it in 96, but the folks wanted to keep it in Canada one more year. 1996 will be in Hamilton, and here in 97.
Well, Hamilton just happens to be their 150th anniversary of their incorporation next year. The following year is Baltimore's 200th year anniversary of their incorporation. So it made a lot of sense to everybody that they do it in that order.
They also want to give Hamilton a good shot in the arm. There's a franchise that has struggled of late. But the situation here now, the hope is that with Hamilton having something to look forward to in the Grey Cup, Baltimore will certainly build with an extra year's preparation, and it should be a dandy show here. They'll have all the Calgary Stampede horses here stand. You'll be partying. There'll be some square dancing. Can you do some country line dancing?
Haven't tried that yet.
Better learn. We know Matty can.
I can.
Matty's up for anything. Yeah. Rosenbaum. Away from the oncoming rush. Still on his feet. Now a throw, little shovel pass there. It's still live, going deep. Ken Everett. And his pass almost picked off. It was in and out of the hands of a Baltimore defender, Irwin Smith. Irvin Smith put some great effort there.
Well, they're calling a penalty on this. Are they calling it too forward? This looked like a backward pass from Rosenbaum. Watch, I mean, you're right, Tom, but despite the injury, he's got good escapability anyhow, and he throws it. It looked like that's backwards to me. If it is, he used his good sense and then threw the ball downfield. That usually ends up in a big play, but they're calling a penalty on it.
Burbidge was the intended receiver. The pass coming from the left-hander, the southpaw, Herrera, and I'll tell you, he showed he's got a pretty good arm.
Wasn't that backwards, though? Yeah. Sure looked to me. Now they're saying Baltimore has declined the penalty, but they did call it as an illegal forward pass.
Right.
All the officials, you know. Hey?
Irvin Smith got his hands on that football. A little disappointed to hang on. Certainly, it works out, though, in Baltimore's favor as Osbaldiston does not get a good punt away here. It bounces. Lester Smith at his 5-yard line. 10, 15. Looks for some running room and a couple of blocks before he is pulled down by number 91, Steve McKee. 51-yard kick, 17-yard return.
It was a nicely paced punt. I mean, it rolled right down the sideline, but Lester Smith did a good job of catching it, took a nice hop to him, and then getting out to past the 20-yard line. So it ended up to be a good play for Baltimore.
Stan, that's especially because they'd had us deep in our own territory there, Baltimore territory, and this at least gives them some room to move around out there on the 22-yard line.
First and 10 from the 22. 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Baltimore 13, Hamilton 2.
Still anyone's game because there's a lot of mistakes being made out on the field. Good defense being played by both teams, so you can't go to sleep here, I can tell you that.
I've been impressed the way Baltimore's pass defense has come back. Remember against Las Vegas, they lost a couple guys even thrown out of the game. Right. They come back and played well tonight. They've really bottled up Rosenbaum and his offense that was able to gather, almost 400 yards in the air last week. So I think they have to be pleased, but they also have to realize they got another whole half to play.
We're set to return to play here with 2.5 minutes left to go. Gracie Hand marks up the signal. Long count, the handoff to Pringle. And he will find his way to the 30-yard line. It's up 4 or 5 yards. Second and 7.
Here's where you don't want to make any mistakes, Jeff. You're deep in your territory. Tracy Ham has got to be careful back here for Baltimore. Needs to get the first down, keep this momentum going.
Ham, the short pass, and this one is caught by Chris Armstrong. Trying to get to first down territory. Look for that yardage stick, and got right there.
It looked like he may have gone out of bounds before he got to it for some reason. He misread the sticks.
It's going to be very close measurement. They'll have to bring it from the... Right there, it's right there, so let's see what they got.
Don Odegaard.
Now third down.
Look at that, third down by the nose of the football.
And he very easily could have had it. He's thinking about stopping the clock, I guess. I don't know. He didn't need to go out of bounds.
The clock stops no matter what until...
Right, in the last 3 minutes.
Last 3 minutes.
I think he was trying to get to that yardstick, no question.
Well, they're going to... Looks like they're going to go for it. Of course, remember, they're a yard off the ball defensively, so... You can't get a couple inches when they got a yard to go.
Tracy Ham, will he go straight ahead?
Yeah, he will.
Or a little trickery right here. Let's see what kind of a gambler Don Matthews is.
Baltimore lines up in the I formation. Ham, a long count. Receivers in motion right. Ham keeps, and he should have enough for the first down.
To me, that's the only decision.
Yeah, I was very confident in that.
Boy, Stan just gave it right to us right there.
You don't take the time to have a handoff because that allows them to get all the way back to the line of scrimmage, get into a gap, and maybe make a big play on you. You can see, right, he delayed a little more than I would like him to, even the quarterback on that sneak. But he's done it enough times, he knows where to go.
I think he was waiting for the running room there. The offensive line doing a good job, and we don't mention the guys up front enough. Horton Nash, Ballard, Subis, O'Neal Glenn, and Neil Fort. Ham with some good protection now. Tries to get out of the pocket, and he does. Looks downfield. Ham will keep stepping out of bounds at the 33-yard line. His receivers all tied up. Some great work defensively by the backfielders for the Ticats. Jeff Fields leading the rush.
He doesn't seem to be seeing the field as well as I've seen him before. He's missing some receivers to the inside that are wide open. That time, Mike Pringle came out late and was standing over the middle wide open, and Tracy just couldn't pick him up. Pringle was signaling, but usually he sees the field real well, which is one of his best attributes.
Tracy Ham gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. The ball on the 33. Armstrong and Britton to the right. Ham looks back. Throws. Cut by Walter Wilson, and that's the first down. Wilson immediately tackled on the play by Eric Carter. And they'll move the yardsticks once more. Baltimore will scrimmage 1st and 10 from the 47.
Tracy Ham sets up here right this time. Watch Walter on the top of your screen right there. Picks up 17 yards on the play. He doesn't mind going inside. He knows he's going to get hit. He is one of his primary receivers, a leading receiver on the Colts, on the Baltimore team right now.
Yeah, he has the most receptions. Although Chris Armstrong has a little more yardage.
1st and 10 from the 50. 1:37, the clock running. Ham, good protection. The pass for Britton in and out of his hands. Defending on the play was Adrian Smith.
That's one of those that where they crisscross and hope to rub the defender off. If they can just get him one step, that's a big play because it puts him man-on-man against the free safety in the open field if he catches that football running away from the defender.
And then one little juke and you're to the races on those guys. That gives you all that wide side of the field to run to. Boy, 65 yards is wide.
Ham, back to pass. Good protection. Look, Armstrong's got it. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Chris Armstrong. And Baltimore with a 60-yard pass and run play have now taken a 19-2 lead pending the extra point by Donald Igwebuike. All right. Don Odegaard beaten on the play by Chris Armstrong with his 2nd touchdown of the night. 19-2 Baltimore with 1:24 left to go.
Well, he splits both Odegaard and Todd Wiseman, the free safety right there. Misses the ball and he cuts off his free safety with his body coming across. Just a nice throw by Tracy Ham to get in between them.
A great throw, boy. That was a bullet. That's when you know when a guy has the ability to be able to zing it in there or lay it in there. That time, Tracy Ham put that ball right on the numbers, leading the receiver, Armstrong, to the inside. Great touchdown, 60 yards.
Igwebuike, the extra point up and good. Baltimore 20. Hamilton 2. A couple of touchdown passes from Tracy Ham to Chris Armstrong. You're watching the CFL on HTS. 1:24 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, that was a little poor effort by the free safety, Todd Wiseman, on that, who had a big game last week. He had 2 interceptions, including one 65-yard touchdown return to ice the game in the fourth period for Hamilton last week, but he just didn't give any effort at all. He was like flattened over towards the receiver and never made a play on the ball. I thought he'd been shielded by Odegaard, but he just didn't hustle for the football.
Here's why Don Matthews made Tracy Ham the marquee player for the Baltimore CFLers. Now moving up on the charts to 162 touchdown passes. Russ Jackson, the former Ottawa Rough Riders quarterback. Dieter Brock spent some time with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers before moving on to the NFL. Matt Dunnigan, boy, has he had a great year with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Tom Clements, the former Notre Dame star, and the all-time touchdown pass leader, Ronnie Lancaster with the Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Now, question, do you know where he went to college?
Which one, Lancaster?
Lancaster.
You tell me.
Wittenberg University in Ohio.
Ohio, that's right.
You guys from Ohio figure that one out. Lancaster now the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, he was at Wittenberg when I was at Ohio State. And Ron and I were good friends, so that made him the best quarterback in Ohio, right? No question about it. Stan, there wasn't even any kind of question. There is a flag.
Baltimore offside on the play. And they'll bring that football back after they pick up the flag.
Well, the field mic is not working on the field tonight, but you can see the officials. If you can lip read on that one, offsides Baltimore.
Well, we've got a moment. I want to say hello to some folks tuning in tonight on HTS at Rookie Sports Bar in Hamilton. Now, they're going to pick up the game. And folks tuning in on satellite tonight, the owners of the establishment, John and Tom, we'd like to say hello. And also a special hello from Bob Bratina, your play-by-play voice on CHML in Hamilton.
They gave me that from the radio booth. Had a chance to show them around the stadium. Great guys from Hamilton. Can't wait to see them up there. But those guys at the bar up there, we all say hello to you from Baltimore. Listen, I want to say a special thank you right here tonight. The CFL Football Club would like to thank the Bruning Paint Company. They've done a great job of painting this field for us, and I can't say enough about what a great job they've done. And if anybody can say anything about this stadium that isn't good, I'd like to know it, because this thing looks immaculate. Thank you, Bruning Paint Company.
Yeah, now they paint the fields, they paint the stands too, didn't they, Tom?
Well, they did both. Thank you. I forgot about that. I got so interested in trying to read this.
I mean, the gray and blue up, it looks so good up there that it almost amazes me to come back and feel like this.
After Doug Flutie in Calgary was here a few days later, we saw a terrific 4-page spread written by Michael Farber of Sports Illustrated. And I'll tell you, that double-page spread of the stadium, Memorial Stadium, all decked out in blue, with 40,000 people. I'll tell you what, the stadium never looked better.
I would like to ask Sports Illustrated, if anybody's listening from there, I would love to have the negative of that, because Mr. Spiros and Mr. Matty would love to have that picture in our office, because it really is apropos for what we've done to this stadium with the help of Mayor Schmoke.
Matty, with all your connections, I'm surprised you haven't called anybody at SI yet.
I haven't had enough time.
What have you been doing? What have you been doing, man?
I've been working. I sure have been playing golf.
I was going to say.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing here. He just kicked the ball out of bounds. They're giving the ball to 35. And he already had one penalty. So what happened to that 5 yards? They don't get that one? Yeah, I don't know.
1:20 left to go. First and 10 from the 35. Rosenbach takes the snap. Hands off. Open running room. Hamilton. Fumble the football. And it's re-recovered by a member of that Ticat offense. Yacht recovers the fumble.
That's a coach's son, always in the right position, you know.
John Hood, the ball carrier, fumbled the ball. And then it was recovered by Joey Yacht.
Nice draw play.
6-yard gain.
Yeah, nice draw play. Ricky Andrews comes up and misses on the play for a nice hit, but the fumble is recovered.
Rosenbach tapped behind the line of scrimmage there.
Again, Ned Goodwin coming in on that one from the backside. Just great pressure. I'll tell you, he's got the speed and the agility to get back in there. It's a 7-yard loss right in the backfield.
O.J. Brigance also in on that tackle. Rosenbaum, back to pass, got some protection here. Looks, Winfield, the reception, can't hang on. Defending on the play was Carl Anthony.
By the way, in this, with the timeouts that they call here, 58 seconds is an enormous amount of time, Stan, before the half comes to an end here. We got 58 seconds remaining.
They were running play so quick we couldn't even comment on the play before, and they were ready to snap the ball. And the clock stops every play in the last 3 minutes of the half in the game. So you're right, there's a whole minute of time left. Baltimore can get more points.
Lester Smith, alone back to receive this punt. It bounces in front of Lester. He fields it at the 18, 24, and he's pulled down right there at the 24 by the Ticats number 44, Jeff Nichols. 48 seconds left to go. Baltimore first and 10 on the 20-yard line. A 50-yard punt, 8-yard return.
I don't think he'll sit on the ball here, Tom.
I don't think he will either.
With the leads they've lost before, you should go after every point you can get.
20-2 the score. Baltimore leading the visiting Hamilton Tiger Cats. Brick. And Joe Washington. Wide right. Walter Wilson. Chris Armstrong to the left. A short screen pass. This one, Pringle. Able to run it back to the 25-yard line. Didn't think his knees hit the ground. Ball whistle back. And he'll pick up a good 5-6 yards, making it second down.
Yeah, the Baltimore's also got to realize that the Tiger Cats come out hard in the second half. They'd outscored their opponents 43-9 in the third quarter. So if they can get more points here, go all out to get them.
Clock running. You see the time remaining here in the first half. Tracy Ham throws Eddie Britton the reception, and he is hit immediately. That's the 25-yard line, setting up a third down situation. Adrian Smith, the tackler on the play.
And again, this is a reverse situation now. We're down to 29 seconds, but that's still a lot of time because Hamilton will get good field position on this one.
Yeah, they have called their only timeout now, Hamilton. You get 1.5. They had it left, and they're going to use it right here because the clock would have started once they set the ball. But now they are able to get the ball with probably it'll be about 20 seconds left when they get the ball. With all the plays and the clock stopping, they can get a good drive.
Baltimore CFL Club would like to thank Meineke Discount Mufflers for their support this season. Last Saturday at the Brickyard 500 in Indianapolis, the Meineke car featured the logo of the Baltimore CFL Football Club. The Baltimore CFL Football Club is proud to have Meineke as a sponsor in our inaugural season. Thank you, Meineke. We really appreciate your effort.
Goodell and Winfield back to receive the punt from Josh Miller. He'll let this one go from about the 16-yard line.
Baltimore number 22, Josh Miller.
Winfield standing at their own 40. Miller with a high punt, giving Baltimore some time to get down for coverage. Winfield away from traffic, looking for some running room out right. There's a flag on the play, and this one might be against Hamilton for clipping. Actually, there are now 2 flags on the play, so let's see, they could be offsetting.
No, I think it was 2 clips. I think they saw both of them. It's a
40-yard, same thing?
40-yard punt on that one. Holding.
So they'll move the football deeper into Ticat territory.
Tui Peluto makes a nice tackle, Peter, right here. He doesn't make that. He has a big seam to go through, even though there would have been a penalty. But they have something set up if we can look for it in the future. He makes a nice cut. You see the blocking. Oh, he gets right by there. He's got a long way to go. Woo.
Those kind of scary.
Rosenbaum back to pass. Throws the short screen to Hood. Hood's got some running room before tackled on the play by Matt Goodwin. Hood the receiver. And Goodwin the tackler for Baltimore.
Late flag in the secondary. A little fisticuffs, little pushing, shoving going on. Looked like Carl Anthony was one of the players involved.
Roughing.
They're calling it on Hamilton. He didn't retaliate then. It was held himself. I guess he learned his lesson
last week.
Yes.
I know they did. One of the things that Baltimore has to do, and they haven't done this before, they can't lose their composure. They lost their composure. I think, the Vegas posse got a little bit rough and dirty. I thought a couple of cheap shots. That was really uncalled for. And I think that's the one thing that Don Matthews really stresses on this team. Do not lose your composure. And that was a prime example of not losing it.
Ball on the 22-yard line. Hamilton's 22. And look for a big play here. 2nd and 19. The handoff to Hood. He's got some open running room off left tackle.
John Hood on the run.
But he will be well short of the first down. And there are still 10 seconds, 10 ticks on the clock remaining in the first half.
They should call a timeout here before that clock stops.
And they did.
They did. Yes, sir.
Go for the block.
Go for the block.
Send 12. I guess you can't do that, though. You got to field the ball. Otherwise, the punter could go all the way down and get it. You can't send 12. You got to keep one guy back. The Baltimore CFL Football Club would also like to thank Zenith for providing over 100 television monitors throughout the stadium, offering fans televised action of tonight's games. Those are nice televisions. We up in some of the mezzanine seats earlier in some of the earlier games, and it really makes the game fun to watch. You can see all the replays in full color.
Zenith did a great job, and they are great sets, I'll tell you.
Osbaldiston standing at his own 19-yard line. Gets it away from the 22. He got it away quickly. Didn't get the great kick. Lester Smith fields it on the fly. And he'll make it back to the 54-yard line. And there's still 2 ticks of the clock remaining. 37-yard kick, 14-yard return.
Well, he kicked when it would have been about 65 yards last week down out in that dry air out in Las Vegas, but I don't think he could probably do it here.
The Desert Air certainly added some quality to Josh Miller's numbers, and that's not to say that he's not a quality punter, but I'll tell you what, I bet you he wouldn't mind playing there with the air such as it is year-round, but maybe for the heat, he'd probably be just as happy to be here in Baltimore. We are. Tracy Ham, hands off. Pringle. On the last play of the first half, but hold on, folks, maybe not. No flags on the play. Indeed it is. The last play of the first half here in Baltimore at Memorial Stadium. It is Baltimore 20, Hamilton 2.
Listen to that crowd, boy.
You're watching the CFL on HTS.
You guys up here need to get smart. Hey! Come up out here like that, what do I do? All right, let's go.
It's fireworks night, plus pregame beach party. Saturday, August 20th, when Baltimore CFL football versus the Toronto Argonauts. Sponsored by First National Bank.
Hey, Baltimore, let's get it done.
You're watching the CFL on HTS. Baltimore getting 2 first-half touchdowns from Tracy Ham to Chris Armstrong. Pass and run plays, and a well-deserved 20-2 halftime lead. A lot of excitement in Baltimore this week with word that the Grey Cup, and there it is, 1997, will be played right here at Memorial Stadium. And surrounding the Grey Cup, Baltimore owner Jim Spiros and Commissioner Larry Smith. We'll be back.
CFL football.
Football, back. You guys up here need to get smart. Hey! Come up out here like that, what do I do? All right, let's go.
It's fireworks night, plus pregame beach party. Saturday, August 20th, when Baltimore CFL football versus the Toronto Argonauts. Sponsored by First National Bank.
Hey, Baltimore, let's get it done.
A look at the Grey Cup. It'll be here in 1997, the game at least. It could be here before that. Baltimore leading Hamilton with an impressive first half aerial display. Tracy Ham and Chris Armstrong hooking up at a couple of touchdowns. And the Baltimore CFLs lead the Ticats by a score of 20-2. Jeff Rimmer, Tom Matte, and Stan White rejoining you here. And Stan, Ham and Armstrong connecting here for the first of two tonight.
The first one, just a nice throw into the seam, catch by Armstrong. Chris Armstrong catching 4 passes for 125 yards in that first half. That's the first TD. And Tom, here's the second touchdown.
This is another just great throw again, right, splitting the seam again. He really drills this right on the line. Boom. And he's off to the races.
Yeah, seam pattern, both down each hash mark, the right, then the left. And then we'll see his third catch.
Well, I tell you, that one is as good as it gets. A circus catch, Stan, that, I tell you, the presence of mind, concentration, the keys.
Well, yeah, it's thrown up into a blitz, hits off his hand, hits off his helmet. He looks, finds the ball, and able to gather it in for a big play.
That's what
led to another score, and they just dominated the first half. When we get to see the stats here in just a second, we'll see Baltimore completely dominating this football game. The passing yardage, look at that, 258 to 54, and that 54 to me is the biggest key because Baltimore is last in the CFL, giving up about 360 yards a game in the air, and only 54 to Tim Rosenbaugh, who threw for almost 400 last week.
Ham was 15 for 26 for 258 yards and had a great first half right there. No question, you went on that circus catch. I didn't get a chance to say that's using your head there.
We knew some. We just didn't want to say that. That's all.
Pretty good numbers offensively for Tracy Ham. 15 of 26, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. You might also mention that Ham, rushing-wise tonight, has been held to 2 yards on 3 carries, and that compares with Ham being one of the leading rushers in the league. Rushed for a team-high 269 yards coming in, 6th best in the CFL. He's averaged 12.2 yards per carry, and here tonight has been held to 2 yards on 3 carries. Osbaldiston will kick off for Hamilton. The second half now underway. Pringle at his 25, 30, 35, dances his way to the 40, away from a couple of on-rushing tacklers before he's pulled down at the 43-yard line.
Jeff, the one thing that I like about Pringle is he knows where his blockings come from, and as you can see him running even on his kickoff return, he gets behind his blockers, bounces off of them, picks up the yardage, keeps those legs driving, gets a needed yard, gets a 16-yard return on that one.
First and 10 Baltimore. They will scrimmage from the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned Tracy Ham, only a couple yards. He'll take that any time. He can throw for 258, only have to rush for 2, I guarantee you.
That's true. Ham barks out the signal. Walter Wilson on the short side. The pass to Pringle. Will incomplete.
The one-hoppers don't count. Even up there, right?
Tracy Ham having just sitting up there, just not getting enough zip on the ball. Pringle wide open, coming out as a delay back, coming right out where the outside receiver takes a deep pattern and brings that linebacker out and just opens that whole area to the inside.
Ham sends everybody out of the backfield. Now throws. Walter Wilson makes the catch and picks up a big first down. He's still on his feet. Fumbles the football at the 33-yard line. Hamilton tries to find the handle, and indeed they did. Outstanding catch. Walter Wilson standing between 3 defenders for Hamilton, makes the catch, cuts inside, then fumbles the football.
It almost pays the price for hustling so much. He made such a nice play. Scramble for the extra yards, and the ball just pops loose. Look at him. He's trying to make the big play go all the way. The ball just comes out, and then Don Odegaard almost picked it up and then just fell on the football. If he could have picked it up, he'd had a nice run down the sideline, but maybe a break in the end for Baltimore.
Picked up a 31-yard gain before the fumble. Hassan Bailey in on the tackle as well, and here comes Hamilton. Hood, the ball carrier. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, picks up maybe 1.5 yards at best. And from the near hash mark, it'll be Hamilton's 2nd and 8.
The man who recovered that fumble, Hassan Bailey, 5'11", 200 pounds out of Kansas.
Here's Rosenbach. Good protection. Looks over the middle. The pass intended for Lonzel Hill, and he couldn't come up with the football.
Again, 2 and out. It's so fast. This game is so quick. You don't realize that the offense and defense changes this quickly. It's hard even to flip the chalkboards over every once in a while.
Yeah, Rosenbach doesn't have an idea tonight.
Tell me about it.
He had a guy so wide open and threw the ball 5 yards in front of him. He has no idea how to get the ball to the receivers.
Baldiston. Get this one away from about the 23-yard line. And he gets a great kick away here. Spiraled. Fielded on the fly. Lester Smith heads right up the middle. Still on his feet. Keeps his feet in bounds. No, he did not. Baltimore said he did. As he scampered down to the sideline, the official on the near side says no, he didn't. Stepping out of bounds, but a great effort there by Lester Smith nonetheless.
I'll tell you something. This is just great running, concentration on the ball, looking it into his hands, breaks back outside, takes a good shot there, almost keeps it. Oh, he just touches right there. This is great extra effort on his part. A little shot on the sideline. Great camera coverage. Cameraman almost got knocked out on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he really went out where they really marked it. I think he went out about 2 steps later, but the first time I thought he was in.
Yeah. He kept his feet inbounds, no question. Lester Smith, great run back. 1st and 10 Baltimore from the 55. 23-yard return for Lester Smith after a 44-yard kick by Baldiston. Here's Ham. He's got some time. Pringle, the receiver. And do they really trap it? Indeed they did. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 55.
Tracy seems to have a little trouble. It's just a little dump-off pass. It's almost like you start to aim it. You know, like anything else, you aim it, you short arm it, the ball comes off a little and is low, and even bouncing a couple times.
Andrews getting some attention on the sideline. Perhaps a bit of a knee problem. Ham, 2nd and 10. Good protection, looks deep. Again, the outstanding catch by Chris Armstrong. What a night for Armstrong tonight. 2 touchdown receptions, over 140 yards passing up until this one. And he's got another big first down before being pulled down by Eglin of the Hamilton Ticats.
Well, again, a blitz, and Tracy was able to spot it right away, and he just beats number 13, Greg Eglin, down the sideline. He can't keep up. He's got 3-4 yards. The ball's actually a little underthrown. He has to stop, or it may have gone all the way.
Now over 180 yards in reception yardage for Chris Armstrong. 41 yards on that one. There it is, 166. Quick work by our HTS crack statistician team. 11:45 left to go, 3rd quarter. Ham again looks into the end zone. Tupeludo. There's no question. Intended receiver and a pass interference call.
It was almost a takedown.
Hassan Bailey, the defender.
There was a linebacker on a fullback. He should be able to make that type of coverage, but he got beat. Hassan Bailey did. He was really a defensive back type linebacker, 5'11" and 200 pounds.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton number 35.
Again, we apologize. Our on the field light not working tonight.
Okay, he's grabbed him around the waist. Whew. I guess that's a little too flagrant and obvious not to call.
We've got the field mic working again. We'll try to pick that up for you the next time. There's a penalty. Fumbling the ball. Tracy Ham picks it right back up. Are they in the end zone? Has Hamilton recovered?
Yes, they have.
Indeed they have. And a costly fumble. Big turnover. Aaron Carter comes up with a loose football.
Oh, boy. And they get the ball out to the 25-yard line on that. Oh. Yeah, he drops it, then kicks it. You see the guard pulling on the trap play, kicks the football all the way into the end zone. And you can see he got that on a run. Pringle should probably let him come out of the end zone for a yard and then tackled him.
Well, a look at what's up ahead here for your Baltimore CFLers. August the 20th, again here at Memorial Stadium against the Toronto Argonauts. On the road in Hamilton, these same Ticats on the 27th. At Shreveport on the 3rd of September. Sacramento, our next HTS telecast, Sunday, September 18th, against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Bring your warm coat, huh?
Well, no, September should be pretty good for China.
I hear it snowing.
Come on,
Dan. Give me a break. Our next HCS game will be played on Sunday, September 18th in Saskatchewan. Next week, not next week. You're making fun of those folks up in Canada.
You're the one that told me that. Come on. That's where you're from.
Well, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I remember seeing a Labor Day game in Calgary in the 70s between Edmonton and Calgary. And if the strike continues, the Labor Day, the baseball strike, I understand that some of the other networks might kick in some CFL coverage. But anyway, the point I want to make is a Labor Day. What's that, September 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever? Yeah. They had a blizzard. 14 inches of snow in Calgary, Alberta. Labor Day in September. I'll never forget it.
That's why well, let me tell you, Green Bay gets cold early, too. I play the Lions. We go up there in September and October. And the only reason it didn't snow is because there was no water in the air, because it was cold now.
A great crowd here again tonight at Memorial Stadium, turning out to see the Baltimore CFLs.
Rosenbach looks downfield, the intended receiver for the Hamilton Ticats was Earl Winfield. Good coverage there by Michael Brooks and company.
And Malcolm Goodwin put in a lot of pressure.
That was a floater. That ball hardly got there.
That looks like one of my passes.
Yeah, it did.
It was an option ball.
End over end. Yeah.
He gets either end.
Exactly right.
Clock running, 11:05 left to go, third quarter, second down, 25 yards to go. Oh, excuse me, 10 yards to go on the 25. Rosenbach at his 15. Winfield, a reception. Looks for some more yardage before he's tackled on the play by Michael Brooks.
Now, that had a little zip on it. He got that ball in there nicely.
Carl Anthony also helping out on the tackle.
We haven't heard much of Winfield after the big week that he had last week. It's just a little curl pattern.
27-yard gain.
Nice tight spiral, and the defender went for the football trying to knock it down and almost paid a big price. Luckily, he held up the receiver enough that somebody else could make the tackle. That's Carl Anthony, number 3 for Baltimore. Almost knocked it out of there, though.
Rosenbach hands off to Hood. Hood looks for some running room outside. Gets to the 50 before he's hit by Carl Anthony. Was flying out of bounds.
If Hamilton wants to get in this game, they've got to get that ball to their big playmaker, Earl Winfield, more often than just a couple of times in the ball game. Last week he had a great game.
5-yard gain.
They got to get the ball out to him.
2nd and 5. Ball spotted at the 51-yard line. 51. Rosenbach takes the snap. Good protection here. Now throws Winfield a reception, and he's right there at the first down marker. Carl Anthony again defending on the play.
Yeah, nice play by Winfield. He actually got his body in between him and Carl Anthony and shielded him off, almost blocking out like a rebound, and was able to keep him on his back and catch the football for the first down.
I think that at halftime there was a message that was sent to the quarterback. Get that ball to Winfield any way you can, and you see he's starting to pick on him right now out there. This guy's got a great hands and can run with the football after it.
Hood takes the handoff from Rosenbach, goes straight ahead, and lumbers his way for 4 or 5 yards before he is hit by Robert Pressbury. Here's Rosenbach's numbers here early in the second half. 9 of 21 for 88 yards.
No touchdowns
and no interceptions. 2nd and 7.
Sure don't compare to the over 300 that Tracy Ham has already.
3 receivers in motion left. Rosenbach back. The blitz is there, but still finds Winfield. Carl Anthony chases Winfield. Tries to strip him of the football and does. But Hamilton has recovered.
I think he got it back. Presence of mind to get back on top of that football. Hey, this could be a big turnaround, Tom. From being the ball on the 1-yard line and going ahead 27-2 to let them drive the length of the field after recovering the football.
You can see Anthony tracing him down, slips there a little bit. Watch how he makes the tackle. He goes right after the football, pulls it out. But a great recovery by Winfield.
That's a nice play by Anthony to go out and use the hammer to get the football out. But
22-yard gain.
Luckily for Hamilton, it bounced right back to him.
Rosenbach takes the handoff, looks deep, wide open is Lorenzo Hill, and Hill is hit after another first down by Charles Anthony, but it'll be 1st and goal for Hamilton.
22-yard pickup on that one, just another great throw.
Stan, you talked as we began this third quarter about Hamilton's ability to put points on the board in the third quarter, and they're moving those yardsticks here.
Well, you see number 9, Charles Anthony, got beat badly, guessed the wrong way on Lonzel Hill. And as we mentioned, they do 43-9 in the third quarter. They've outscored their opponents. And we saw Baltimore waste a valuable opportunity down the 1-yard line. Touchdown.
There it is. Joey Yacht steps into the end zone, and Hamilton has...
Well, he got a penalty.
Has the touchdown, but do they? Because indeed there are some flags on the play.
Baltimore.
Baltimore penalized, and the touchdown will stand. Here's the call.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Baltimore number 3. Decline.
Against Baltimore with illegal contact. The touchdown.
This is a trick play. Comes all the way across the backfield. See Yacht go one way, then the other. And then there's a pick. You saw the guy follow him, got picked by his own man. And he's just free.
Osbaldiston for the extra point. It's up and good. So, this football game now a 20-9 score with Baltimore leading. 7:06. Plenty of time left in this third quarter.
Watch as we see Joey Yacht go back and forth across the formation. He's a little late now. You can't see, but you see the receivers running from the outside, from the right over to the left to create almost a wall. Them and the defenders, the man covering Yacht cannot get between that minefield of players and ends up with a wide open touchdown. You can call the Baltimore CFL football action at 410-554-1040. You can purchase a rest of the season tickets for $150. 6 games of CFL action at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, August 20th versus the Toronto Argonauts. Fireworks brought to you by First National Bank. Be on the lookout for 1994 CFL football 5- and 3-game mini plans, which go on sale on August the 18th. Call again, 410-554. What'd you call it, Tom? IRS number 1040 to purchase tickets for August 20th with a pregame beach party. I guess they're going to bring sand in here. Is that what they're going to do, Tom? And,
yes, sir.
And blankets and umbrellas. And they're featuring the Rumba Club starting at 5 p.m. The game time's at 7:30. Had a nice country and western party in here tonight.
They sure did. The beach party's going to be a great one. So come on out here. That's August 20th. They're going to have a great party back out there in center field again. The Rumba Club, a little...
Alvin Walton, the injured member of the Baltimore CFLers, and he's only played 3 games for the football team this season, but still has been part of 15 defensive tackles, 2 specialty team tackles. Again, as I said, in just 3 games, it looks like he's got a calf muscle problem here.
Well, it's the guy who led the Redskins in tackles for 3 or 4 years in a row, so he's always in a lot of plays.
Perhaps a knee being looked at right now by the medical staff. The near sideline, back on that Baltimore bench.
Well, that was a sort of a knuckleball kick that went off the fingertips of Peter Tuipulotu and out of bounds, so that's where Baltimore has to take the football.
Our good friend Dr. Gertzen right down there, my good friend, Orthopedic Associates, who's handling our players on the field, taking a look at Alvin Walton's knee, find out if there's any looseness in there. He's a great veteran, a great leader on the team, has really made a great contribution. And let me tell you something, after playing this long in the NFL that he did play, he still has that enthusiasm as a young ball player.
Casey Ham. A long count here. Hands off to Pringle. Pringle now looks for some open running room. Covers up that football before he's met by a host of Hamilton tacklers.
Well, that's a nice play by Michael O'Shea. We talked about him not stepping up earlier. This time he does step up into the hole, causes Pringle to stop his forward momentum, and then just an avalanche of tacklers come from the inside. Watch number 59, O'Shea, right there. In the right place. He gets knocked down, but him being there in that right place allows the pursuit to get to him.
2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. Ham looks. The open receiver, Pringle, away from traffic, and he'll get the first down for Baltimore.
Big play, Jeff, big play. Picks up 12 yards on the play. Again, that time, Tracy Ham. Now watch this when Tracy sets up. Watch how he follows through on this one. He gets the ball right in Pringle. Pringle makes a good move, cuts back to the inside. Defensive back falls down. Good running, covers that ball up, reaches for the first down.
Ham. Back to pass, everybody. Going in motion and out to Paluto, the intended receiver, knocked down by Terry Wright. It'll be 2nd and 10. Right all over Tupeluto on that one.
Yeah, made a nice move on the ball. Almost got both hands on it over top of Tupeluto to intercept the football. There's Cofield coming from behind. Almost gets to him. That's as close as Cofield's been all night. Haven't heard much of Cofield. We talked about it before the game, but the Baltimore offensive line, who we said, again, has given up the least sacks in the league, has done a good job.
Eddie Britton, flanked wide left. Has Robert Clark on that side as well. Looks right, though. Looking for Pringle, throws to Walker Wilson, in and out of his hands. Defending on the play was Adrian Smith. 5:20 left to go to 3rd down in a punting situation. Up comes Josh Miller and the Baltimore CFLers specialty team.
Yeah, Smith made a nice little play from behind. Almost just snuck his hand around from the opposite side, hoping to get the football, and it did right off his hand for the incompletion.
Donnell and Winfield back for the Miller punt. 5:19 left to go, 3rd quarter. Miller will get this one away from about the 32. And he gets a tremendous kick that sends Winfield back to the 11-yard line. Winfield down, going wide, looking for some blockers. It's a running and fumbles the football out of bounds. Hamilton will scrimmage. Matt Goodwin in pursuit, and Winfield looks like he is hurt.
Yeah, a great play by Matt Goodwin. He had plenty of room down the sideline. He was being blocked. Just ran right through the blocker with speed to get Winfield from behind. Watch him. He's catching the ball. Nice catching the ball going backwards. But watch Matt Goodwin. He'll come into the screen just about right now. And then catch him from behind. And watch his legs go out from under him. The ball comes out. I tell you, I can't tell if that's his legs or his back. Watch him right there. He just let the football go almost in pain, didn't he?
Yeah. A great punch.
Maybe a hamstring? Could be a hamstring?
Yeah.
Working on that hand, it looks like.
He could have popped that before Malcolm got to him.
A 56-yard punch by Josh Miller on that, and great coverage by Matt Goodwin.
Yeah, Matt, not Malcolm's the brother.
We talked earlier tonight about the importance of this game for Baltimore. You see the updated standings to the minute. Baltimore and Winnipeg tied. Winnipeg will play Ottawa later in the week, so it's a big game tonight for Baltimore, looking to go 4-2. Ottawa, Toronto, Hamilton, and Shreveport, the bottom of the division. Winnipeg and Baltimore right now in a class by themselves. Now, on the western side of things, Calgary leads Doug Flutie and company with a record of 4-1. BC Lions also a similar 4-1 mark, as do the Edmonton Eskimos have that 4-1 record. Then it's Sacramento, Saskatchewan, and the Las Vegas Posse, 2-3.
And what's interesting tonight, again, we've had the different crowds coming in here, but tonight we had 37,231 people. That's a great turnout by Baltimore, showing the support for the Baltimore CFLs. That's a great crowd. I'm really pleased.
Well, now they got the 3 biggest crowds in the league this year.
That's right. But we would like to see, and I'll tell you something, it's going to be and I hate to see the baseball strike, because I hate to see any sports team go on strike, but you guys out there, come on out here and see a great game with Baltimore here. The fan support of Baltimore has been great, and we welcome you all to come see our product, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Somehow I think we've seen the last of Mr. Winfield for the evening. In fact, indeed, he's being taken right to the Hamilton dressing room. One more look at it here. Matt Goodwin in pursuit. The speed and the strength of this young man.
You know, Jeff, it almost looked there like he pulled that hamstring before he was even hit, Stan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the last time we commented on it, that could have been the case.
Rosenbaum, short screen pass, great catch by Hood. Right in the middle of traffic, Hood comes up with that football.
But Robert Pressberry makes a nice play, recognizing the screen, seeing the back trying to slip between the defensive linemen. This is right with him and tackles him, going for a 2-yard gain.
4.5 minutes left to go, 3rd quarter, 2nd down. And 8 yards to go, the ball on the 15-yard line. Rosenbaum. Back to pass, good protection, throws, pop. The reception made by number 17, Everett.
Short of the first down.
Urban Smith, the tackler.
This is where the offensive receiver here has got to know where he has to go to get the first down. This is just not real smart football right here. He goes up, makes the grab. Good defense coming in right on him.
Well, Baltimore slipped into a zone there. They don't play it very often, so the receiver's thinking he's already beat his man and has the sideline to go to, but all of a sudden he turns and there's a defender falling off the coverage and right into that zone and makes the tackle short of the first down.
Again, Irvin Smith making a big play last week, stopping the posse, coming up with a big defensive play right there.
That's Balderson. A good kick away here, coming to the near side. Lester Smith with the ball out of bounds at the 53, and will be excellent field position for Baltimore here.
55.
They rule it at the 55. All right, we'll take it. That's 2 yards. 35-yard kick, no return. Baltimore will scrimmage the ball. 1st and 10 from the center field hash mark.
1st and 10 from the 55. Isn't the name of one of their publications?
This is another thing that the people who are watching this game, they have to understand is in the CFL, it's 110 yards, so you have a 55-yard line. So it's a little different, a lot different than the NFL.
High formation. Racing hand. That's a good look at the Hamilton defense. In motion now. Fields and Clark left. Take handoff to Pringle. Ham looking. Looks for Walter Wilson. Off his fingertips. And defending on the play for the Hamilton Ticats was Adrian Smith. Wilson had it on his fingertips, but Adrian Smith right there all the way, and there's a penalty on the play.
Let's see what happens after the play. Tracy Ham really gets nailed.
It's a nice play by both of the defender and the receiver, both almost catching the football. Wilson could have had it.
Ham gets nailed right here. Watch it coming on in.
Cofield.
Boom.
That was a little late. I wouldn't even think that wasn't even that much pressure.
Well, what happened was there's a little mouth from the sideline coming from one of the players. Got very upset about the call. Thought it should.
1st and 20 for Baltimore. Baltimore penalized on the play. Make it 2nd down and 20 from the 50-yard line.
After the play ended, yeah.
Actually, the ball is at the 45. 10-yard penalty. Pocket, being chased, now looks downfield, picked off on the play. Hamilton with a big pick off there. The play made by number 59, Michael O'Shea. And a big turnover has Hamilton on the march.
I tell you, I guess I just don't like being comfortable, Tom, because every time they get to the edge of being comfortable, they do something to give the ball back to the team. They fumble into the end zone. They throw a wild pass after a penalty into the middle, right to the guy. Nobody, it looked like he picked him out and threw it right to Michael O'Shea. Man, that nice gift for a linebacker. You love those type of things, but it sure does hurt the cause here.
Rosenbach. 1st and 10. Good pass protection. Looks over the middle. The pass was intended for number 8, Denzel Hill. Good coverage there defensively by Baltimore.
Michael Brooks coming up right on that one. If that receiver would have caught the ball, he would have ended up in the bleachers, I believe, because he had a full head of steam coming in to catch the receiver.
Yeah, nice job. The last 2 plays by the Baltimore defense is going into a zone, and Hamilton not reading it. The receiver's not reading it, and Rosenbaugh not reading it. He threw a little dump pass right to where the free safety was in that zone. Good guy, receiver killed.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Rosenbaugh. Again, excellent pass protection. Now wide open is Hood. Inside the 40-yard line before he's pulled down. Maybe right there at the 40. Gravely pulling down Hood. And they'll move the yardsticks. Or will they?
No, it's 3rd down situation. To try the field goal. About a 47-yard field goal, 46.
Hamilton's got to go back to the chalkboard and figure out what type of patterns they're going to run against the zone. And again, the 3rd time they run it in a row, and Rosenbaugh has to dump off late to his back, and only for a couple yards.
Balderson will let this one go from the 48-yard line. 20-9 the score. He gets it up. He's got the distance, and it's good.
That kick is up and good.
20-12 with 1:50 left in the 3rd quarter.
It's a ball game again. I never thought it was going to be this way. The second half started all the way down to the 1-yard line. Nice kick here. Watch the nice follow through. He's a lot different kicker than Iggy is. This is the long stroke and the follow through, and perfect from 48 yards, or just good enough anyhow.
And his longest field goal of the year for Osbaldiston. 8-point Baltimore lead, 1:46 left to go, third quarter.
They need to respond. They need to get the ball down and get some points on the board in this drive.
We've not seen much offensively from Baltimore here in the third quarter. Pitch up. Pringle picks up 5-6 yards at the most. It'll be second down. Michael O'Shea again in on the tackle for Hamilton.
Oh, Jeff, you say that, yet the first drive they took all the way down the field to the 1-yard line and then fumbled. So we sure didn't get much execution out of the drive on that, but Baltimore's got to take it. I mean, it's just, you can't blow an opportunity like that, as we see Mike O'Shea, who's come up with that big interception and another tackle here. He's starting to play a little better in the second half.
Ham sending everybody in motion. Hands off to Pringle again. Pringle goes straight ahead. Picks up another couple. It'll be third down and short of the first down.
It'll be real close. They're going to have to see where they mark it on the final lunge that Pringle had. And Tom mentioned that earlier. That's the good thing about Mike Pringle, is those legs are always going. He gets the last inch out of every carry that he has. That last inch may be enough on this one.
They're bringing up the sticks, and they'll measure this one. All depends on the placement, guys.
It could be a little short, but again, that defense has to line up 1 yard off the ball, so that gives us the opportunity to get that first down.
Nose of the football. That's all it is. And Baltimore will go. John Matthews watching from the sidelines.
Don't forget, on another surefire bet from the 1-yard line, we fumbled this. Baltimore fumbled. I'm trying to talk like you now, Matty. Baltimore fumbled the snap. It's catchy. It's catchy.
Well, there was also one of these third down gambles, if you want to call that, earlier on. Tracy Ham went straight ahead as Stan White called it here from the broadcast booth. Let's see what Ham does with this one again. He follows his line, and yes, he's got the first down. No question.
As long as you make the connection on the snap, you should be able to get inches every time.
That's exactly right. You could fall forward for at least 1 yard, and all he needed was about 6 inches on the play. So Tracy Ham keeping control of the football. Again, watch him here. Gets the snap. Goes off that left guard. Center blocks down to the inside. Follows his blocking perfectly. Gets the first down.
Ham looking to lead Baltimore's offense here in the second half to pay dirt. Of course, Don Matthews, as we mentioned earlier on, with a victory tonight, would chalk up his 100th win in the CFL. Ham straight back to pass. Good protection now. Looks the short screen pass to Pringle. He's wide open. 50. Dances at the 50-yard line before he's pulled down.
A little too much of a dance on that one. Instead of making the quick move, he tried to move his feet and make 2 cuts at the same time and lost his balance.
Adrian Smith makes the tackle on Pringle. The gun is sounded to end the third quarter. And Baltimore continues with the football when we return. You're watching the CFL on HTS. Baltimore leading the visiting Hamilton Tiger Cats 20-12. Fourth quarter set to go. 20-12 Baltimore. You're watching the CFL on HTS. Jeff Rimmer, Stan White, and Tom Matty. A couple of ex-NFL Colts joining me here for the HTS broadcast. And Baltimore looking to move up 4-2, temporarily in first place in the Eastern Division ahead of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who will play the Ottawa Rough Riders later on this week. 2nd and 5 from the 50-yard line. Tracy Ham marks up the signals, gets some good protection. There's a flag on the play. Looks downfield. The ball is caught by Robert Clark. But hold on here. Let's see what the flag is.
There's all kinds of flags all over.
Yeah, the one at the bottom, I thought the wide receiver, Walter Wilson, lined up, half a yard off sides. As far as on the other side, it's offsides on Baltimore. Illegal chuck on Hamilton. And now this league is not offsetting.
It's a plus or minus.
Right. They're saying that was no catch. It looked like a catch to me.
Sure did. They're saying he trapped it?
I can't believe that. And again, the official from behind calling the play.
Now this one, they'll mark off the difference between the offsides and the...
Here he goes.
Here we go.
Offside, Baltimore number 84.
Right.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver, Hamilton number 13. First down.
All right. So,
here they are, third quarter stats. You see Baltimore with a comfortable lead in first downs. Rushing yards, Hamilton's now taking the lead. The passing yard one way. 350 to 142. Baltimore with a 415 to 200 and something. Ground advantage, and Pringle's got all kinds of running room. Great blocking, and he's down to the 31-yard line. Todd Wiseman with the tackle, but a great job on the offensive line there.
yeah, your free safety's making the tackle on trap plays up the middle. You know you got good yardage, but again, it's been soft all day. It's been open. They've been able to run through those two big defensive tackles and the middle linebacker, and it's just big yardage all night for Mike Pringle on that play.
24-yard pickup for Pringle. First down, ball at the 32. Long count from Ham. Gives to Pringle again. And he dances his way after a 5-yard pickup.
And this could be a holding penalty on Baltimore.
It sure looks like it. Yeah, where the flag was dropped, they had one offensive lineman laying on a defensive lineman, and that's when you usually get holding.
Holding. Baltimore number 66.
Call is against
Repeat first down.
Holding.
That's the one that was laying. That's a big man to lay on you. 6'7", 310, probably about 340, closer to Neil Fort. The right number 66 on the right-hand side. See him right here. Now watch him. Oh, yeah, he grabs him from behind and lays on him. He's getting away, grabbed him. You know why he did it? Because he's usually not called. So they get in the habit of doing things like that if they don't call him. And that time, they just decide to throw the flag on him.
First and 20 from the 42. 13:57 left in the fourth quarter. Ham, good protection. Way back in the pocket now. Looks downfield and throws to Walter Wilson. Oh, this one also ruled incomplete. It popped out again.
Number 84, Walter Wilson.
Walter saying, get that ball up, get the ball up. I'll catch it for you if you get it up for me.
And Tracy's saying, just catch it.
Yeah.
No matter where it is, you got to catch the ball. It's a good job of coming back to the quarterback on the scramble. You can see him right here. He sees the scramble, comes back, the ball's there, and it still is one that he could catch. He didn't get his hands under. He tried to catch it in his body.
Second and 20 from the 42. Long count again from Ham. This time looks left. Ham with some good protection. Great catch, and then fumbled by Clark. Will they rule it a turnover?
Yes, they will.
Indeed they do.
Eric
Robert
Carter.
Clark made the catch and then turned over the football.
Eric Carter coming from behind. We saw a Baltimore defender do that. Now we see Eric Carter's number 9. Watch him come from behind. He gets beat on the play to the inside. Watch him come underneath and then knock it out from behind. Right to Eglin, Greg Eglin. And lucky, because he caught that in the run, lucky Baltimore was heads up enough to make a tackle right there. Walter Wilson, the play, saw it happening and makes a tackle before he can get that head of steam up and run.
And for the second time in the second half, gentlemen, we've seen Baltimore move the football. But then a turnover inside that red zone, as Matty calls it.
That's exactly right. And that's, you know, that was a great defensive play coming in and stripping the ball out of there. But, boy, I'll tell you, you've got to hold those onto those and tuck it away.
13:23 left to go in regulation time. Remember, there is overtime, and folks on HTS, they may have watched the exhibition game back on the 29th of June here at this stadium in the deluge. Quite a rainy, stormy evening. The situation, the game went into overtime. Baltimore won a thriller in the last play over Winnipeg.
Well, here's the one score that's been one touchdown anyhow in the second half. The pass to Joey Yock on the pick play where he went in motion one way, came back, and went behind the wall of players. You can see how wide open he was as Tracy Gravely was not able to get through the pick. And again, 10-0. Hamilton outscores Baltimore in the third quarter. We talked about that. 43-9 going in. It makes it 53-9. Hamilton has outscored their opponents in the third quarter so far this year, and they're right back in the football game. Now, one score and a two-point conversion, and it's a tie football game. When Baltimore had an opportunity just to blow it wide open with the ball on the 1-yard line.
Now, the deciding factor right here this whole game so far is the fact that Baltimore has had 4 turnovers and Hamilton has had 0. So that's the factor right there. If you take those turnovers away, Baltimore is walking away with this game tonight. But that's what this league's all about, and I've got to give credit where credit's due.
Again, turning over the football 4 times in a game can be awfully costly. End up on the wrong end of the score, despite the numbers statistically. Rosenbach, great catch here by Hill, and that's a big first down.
Alonzo Hill is an experienced receiver. He played 4 years with the New Orleans Saints and was one of their better receivers down there, although they don't throw the ball that much. But nice throw by Rosenbach on this play. Puts air under the football, allows the receiver to jump up and make the play. And Ken Watson just not able to get the ball out.
27-yard reception on it.
Rosenbach again to Hill. You have success, you go back to the receiver. Ken Watson with the tackle, and they'll move the yardsticks once more. Well, I've got this opportunity. I want to talk a little bit about Joey Yock, who we just saw scored the touchdown of the football game. As we mentioned earlier, the son of Ray Yock, head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He played in the ACC at the University of North Carolina, but guys, he was drafted in the CFL draft because his dad coached in the CFL. He was born in Canada and was drafted by the CFL Ticats.
That's the #1 draft choice.
Right.
Rosenbach's pass complete to Dave Canal.
His father went to the University of Iowa, played football there before moving to the Canadian Football League. And there's Joey Yock. His older brother also played U.S. college football, and he's now a scout for Bobby Ross and the San Diego Chargers. Yes.
A football family, to say the least, huh?
Rosenbach, hands off. Good gain here. On the second down play, that's a first down. Richard Andrews with the tackle. That was Donnell on the rush.
And they're quickly down to the 30-yard line. 3 completions in a couple run. Nice little cut by Dave Donnell. Sees the hole. He knows he only needs a couple yards, so he's going forward. Gets his shoulders towards the goal line and gets the first down.
Very impressive second half play from Hamilton. Now Baltimore's moved the yardsticks, but they can't get to Pater. Rosenbach, Kaiser time. The pass incomplete.
Came with the blitz that time, Jeff, and had a little bit of pressure, but still, Tim had all time to throw that ball out there, but it was good coverage by the defense.
Gravely on Donnell.
Yeah, it was good coverage because you're right. They picked up the blitz, gave him all the time. When you pick up the blitz, the quarterback, you're thinking, boy, big play, but nobody was open.
Tracy Gravely, one of the real premier backs, 6'3", 213, big man for a defensive back.
Rosenbach, shotgun formation. Here comes the blitz. He's going to be sacked, and he can't get the football away, and he just grabs it intentionally with some open territory. Leading the way was big Gerald Bayless, 1993 Defensive Player of the Year in the Canadian Football League.
The blitz is on. Here it comes. Watch Bayless, 98, chasing the quarterback all the way back there. Great pressure. This guy's 6 foot, 280 pounds. You can see the quickness.
Well, it's always nice when you don't get blocked, isn't it, Tom? You can get up
get that steam rolling.
Yeah, get the speed going and going after him, but he did show some good quickness there for a guy his size.
Chris Armstrong, the lone returner here, is Baldiston with that field goal attempt. It's up and good. Armstrong concedes a point, but it's 3. The field goal was good.
Well, that puts him in great position. The 37-yarder gives him 20-15, and a touchdown takes the lead right here. So there's a 10:56 remaining. Tracy Ham has got to take it upon himself right now to get this offense moving. And he's got to have it right now on this drive. Again, here's the field goal coming up right through the uprights.
That's what's called the middle. Down right into the middle, isn't it? You're splitting the uprights.
I can tell you that's not like the one that they kicked in Green Bay when I played quarterback.
Wide
right, wasn't it?
Clock running, 10:46 left to go. Baltimore in the I formation. All at the 35-yard line. Everybody going in motion. Pringle now follows the tacklers, or the blockers. Can the tacklers follow him? There's a flag on the play. Late hit on Pringle after he stepped out of bounds.
That could be a 15-yard major.
I don't know if that was Carter or Odegaard. One of the two. Both in pursuit. Let's see who hits him once he's out of bounds. Carter indeed. Good call.
I'll tell you what, Sean Beals laid out a man on his back on that play. This is the linebacker he was blocking, number 85, Sean Beals on Terry Wright. Just laid him on the ground, back 5 yards. Quite a block for a wide receiver. That's what opened it up for Pringle on that play.
A 24-yard gain on that, 9-yard gain on the run, and 15 yards on the extra one. That's a big play to get them down and get Baltimore down in their territory.
20 to 15. 10:22 left. Ball on the 51. 1st and 10. Pringle again.
Mike Pringle on the carry.
That room again, just a little slow hitting the hole. He had to hesitate and allowed the defensive end, number 99, Michael Philbrick, to come all the way from the outside and come down tackling it. He hits the hole quick. That defensive end can never make the play.
Pringle's been a workhorse tonight in that backfield, having great catches, some great runs, and right now it's a 2nd and 4 situation. If Baltimore ever needed a first down, this is the one they want.
Wide open. Away from the left. And then he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Michael Philbrick and Jeff Fields in on the tackle.
You're right, it was Fields. It looked like 99, but it is Fields, 6'3", 320-pounder. Watch him coming up the middle right here. Just beats number 62, Keith Ballard. Looked like he was expecting help on that play, but he didn't get it. And Tui Falupo was wide open. Nobody covered him over the middle of the field. Tracy didn't pick him up by the time he did. There was somebody on him.
Punting for Baltimore, Josh Miller.
Cornell Burbage now has joined Donnell to receive this Josh Miller punt, and it is Burbage who watches it sail out of bounds deep in Hamilton territory. Burbage replacing Winfield, who was taken off the field with what appeared to be a hamstring problem.
The Baltimore CFL Football Club would like to thank Bruning Paint for their help with making Memorial Stadium look great this year. It's 40th anniversary, and it does, as we talked about, Tom, look better than all the years I was here, that's for sure. Bruning Paint supplied several thousand gallons of paint, and the Baltimore CFL Football Club is proud of the job that they did, and I think Baltimore itself is proud of the job they did to make this old lady here,
yes, 40 years old,
yeah, spruced up.
I'll tell you, Larry Collins, Joe DeTore working with us, and Joby Walt doing a great job down here doing all this. And I'll say one thing: everybody worked hard to make this thing happen, Stan, and it wouldn't have happened unless we had the support of the mayor of Baltimore, because he really was behind us 100%. Went out on a limb with us, gave us the kind of support that we needed, and then some of the corporations, like the Bruning Paint Company, have stepped up and made things happen for us. Heckinger's has done that with fans all around this section here. Zenith. I mean, we've had some really great people come through for us.
And you can see some of the crowd on hand. 30,000 plus once more.
37,000.
Now, almost 40.
Almost 40,000 again.
And let's point out that there's another CFL contest here in Baltimore on the 20th of the month. 10 days from now, there's the world-famous Baltimore Colts Marching Band Incorporated.
Got to say that very carefully. John Zeman did a great job, and I'll tell you, they're going to have some new uniforms coming up here pretty soon, because Jim Spiros made that commitment to be able to get new uniforms for the band, and when they come marching out, I'll tell you one, it brings back a little bit of nostalgia, doesn't it, Stan?
Well, when they play the Colt fight song, I put my hand over my heart. You know?
So, Rosenbach will lead Hamilton from deep in their own zone. Makes the handout. Now wide open, the receiver, Hill. Defended by Gravely on the play. Joey Yacht, excuse me, I thought that was Hill, but it was Yacht that made the reception.
Yacht's got great hands, being able to pull this down a little up in the high air on that one. Pulls it down and gets about 5 yards on the play. Again, this puts the pressure on the defense to be able to have to watch for the run and the pass.
The Yacht's a possession receiver. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to him again in this situation.
Again, Rosenbach looks. And that one almost picked off. Matt Goodwin was there.
Good call, Stan. Went right back to Yacht again on that one, and Matt Goodwin comes right across in front of there, almost picks it off. Watch the speed of how he closes this down.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. The speed does this right here, and Rosenbach never took his eyes, never went off of really John Hood on that.
John Hood, you're right, John Hood.
Yacht was open on the other side. He should have went to Yacht. If he'd listened, he'd have had a first down.
Osbaldiston will punt this one. This punt should give Baltimore some pretty good field position. Lester Smith standing at his own 40. Osbaldiston gets a real good kick away. Send in. Smith back to the 35, 40, 45. Crashes his way to the 48 and then is sent back to the 46.
It looked like he hit a rubber ball, a wall right there and bounced back about 4 yards. Got a flag again. I've seen more flags tonight, Tom, in this game than probably all the other games combined.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Stan.
Of course, the commissioner's here tonight. Maybe that's why. Nice tackle on the play by number 44 for Hamilton, Jeff Nickel.
52-yard kick, 14-yard return. They're moving it back to the 39-yard line where Baltimore will be first and 10. 8 minutes, 15 seconds, the clock running, remaining in the fourth quarter. Ham has Baltimore in the I formation. Now, 2 receivers left, one goes right. Pringle, the fake handoff. Ham rolls right, looks downfield. Intended receiver wide open. 40, 35, 30-yard line before stepping out of bounds. For Baltimore, number 81, Chris Armstrong, has had maybe a career night for him.
This will be a record for the CFL Baltimore team because that's 48 yards on that play. Again, just getting behind the coverage. Tracy looks like he's going to run. Drops it right over the top. Armstrong picks it up, races down the sideline.
Coming into tonight's game, he averaged 19.1 yards per reception.
Well,
led the team with 20 catches for 382 yards, and he's going to add to those numbers in a big way. Yeah, 2 touchdowns already.
After the first half, his average is already up to over 21 yards a catch, and I'm sure it's closer to 22 now.
3 receivers in motion right. The handoff to Pringle. He goes right, following the receiver. Dances his way to the 5-yard line. Touchdown! Yes! Pringle with an excellent effort following his blockers. Mike Pringle into the end zone, and Baltimore comes up with a big, big touchdown with 7:33 remaining. A 23-yard run by Mike Pringle following his receivers downfield who provided the excellent blocks to get him to pay dirt.
Well, a lot of teams defend the wide side of the field, and they overshift to that side. Baltimore's lining up with everybody in the backfield, shifting, see that, to the sideline. They're overloading it, get more blockers, and then they're just pitching to that side. They have the overload. Now watch Pringle run over Wiseman, number 6, right here. Oh, much of an effort by Wiseman. He hits and quits.
That was student body right.
Exactly right.
Igwe Bike with the extra point. 7:22 remaining. 26-15. It's up. It's good. 27-15 Baltimore. A 12-point lead. 7 minutes, 15 seconds left. How about Mike Pringle with that terrific run to give Baltimore the lead?
Well, it's Chris Armstrong again, though, who made the big play in that drive. On the scramble, getting open. Here we go to student body right again. You see the overload. They got 2 guys blocking there, another man blocking, 2 out the wide receiver. And just a nice run by Pringle, and I don't understand that type of play by the free safety.
Matty, didn't Wiseman kind of remind you of Stan White?
Yeah. Did you see how he's he ran right over?
I'd have been gone a long time before that. I tell you that, if that had been done that way. I wouldn't have lasted the first year with even with Matty running the ball. I can do that.
Well, I'll tell you, this crowd is excited about this.
I'll never forget, we were playing the Oakland Raiders my rookie year. Matty goes into the football game, catches a pass down the sideline, goes about 60 yards. He comes back and tells everybody, yeah, I put this move on the linebacker and everything. We go to film. Oakland only had 10 players on the field. There was no linebacker over there.
Takes him right off the field. I'll say one thing about that touchdown there. That was one that was a necessity because Baltimore had to get some points on that board because I'll tell you, this team has not given up. The Hamilton people up there, they should be very proud of this ball club hanging in there because they have not given up, brought themselves right back to a 2015, and the big play by Pringle scoring that touchdown really helped.
Burbage and Donnell back to receive the kickoff from Donald Igwe Bike. You know, the point, too, here, Baltimore's been able to move the football, but they have not got into the end zone, and you wonder about maybe deflating the football club here offensively, but coming up with that touchdown at a critical point in the football game kind of boost their spirits in a big way.
Yeah, they have over 500 yards of total offense and only 27 points.
True. kickoff. Burbage at the 31 to the 40, and he is met by a swarm of tacklers, led by Malcolm Goodwin and company. 11-yard return on the Igwe-Bike kickoff.
Fans, once again, we have lost parents.
Hamilton with a key series here.
At W2 with the parents of Jamal.
Calvin Walton's back into the game right now. He was taking a look at. Malcolm Goodwin coming back out. He's limping a little bit. I think he's having a little problem with that ankle of his.
Well, that was Matt coming out. Now you're mixing them up.
Sorry, Matt. You got the twins. You take a look at them, you can tell the difference, I'll tell you.
Rosenbaum out of the pocket. Still looking. Now crosses the line of scrimmage and then is tackled immediately. O.J. Brigance leading the tacklers. And Rosenbaum may be back to the line of scrimmage in a half a yard, but no more. We've got a flag on the play.
We have a flag or just injured players? Yeah.
Injured player, I think, that's all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking around because Rosenbaum's got to know that if he's running that long, somebody's catching up with him. And O.J. Brigance was catching up from behind, and he laid him out pretty good.
That's what you say when you hear the footsteps behind you.
Well, he should have heard him. He didn't hear him quick enough, or he'd have got rid of the football. But unfortunately for O.J., it was past the line of scrimmage, so he doesn't get a sack on that play. But it's a nice hustle play by Brigance.
Here's that last play. Look at that camera work. Right in Rosenbaum's face.
HDS doing a great job on the camera work here. We've got, I believe, 6 cameras all over the place. Is that right?
Speaking of in his face, there's O.J. from the side of his face catching him and putting him down. Now, I haven't got a number on the injured player out there.
I think it's Tracy Gravely.
Yeah, it is. I see 7 now as our camera comes in there. But
he's up now. That's a good sign, and we'll get some help. John Lopez and the rest of the Baltimore CFLers medical staff.
My good friend, Dr. Gertson.
Don Matthews was telling the story out last in Las Vegas when Irvin Smith got hurt late in the game. They had 2 defensive backs already kicked out of the game. He said, don't go out on the field. He wouldn't send the trainers or doctors out. He said, Irvin, you got to get up. We don't have anybody else to play. Because in the CFL, if the trainers come out, you got to sit out 3 plays, not 1.
Rosenbaum, good protection. Finds Joey Yock. Yock at the 50-yard line is wrestled to the ground by Anthony and company. Carl Anthony leading the Russia tacklers there.
Probably going to have to go for it.
Decision time by the coach over there. Greg has got to make the decision. It's 3rd down and about 1.5 or 2 yards to go, so it's his gut time right here.
Yeah, Yock is a possession receiver, no doubt, but he doesn't go down far enough. And again, it's Matt Goodwin making the closing speed to keep him short of the first down by about a yard, I guess, a little less than a yard.
Big play upcoming.
There's room to stop him on this.
Yes, there is. This is where the penetration counts.
Hands out, first down, Hood. Inside Baltimore territory, gets the legs going. Steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And that's a big first down, a big play for Hamilton.
Well, they got the penetration. Just Hood stepped up over top of Malcolm Goodwin, number 55. Watch him come, right? See number 55, watch him come through their play. Now he just steps over him. He was in the backfield to make the tackle, but Hood, nice Z action, get it up in the air. And when you break through that over penetration, then you're all ready to the secondary.
That's when you get the off to the races.
24-yard gain. Rosenbaum. Shotgun. Looks, finds Hood, wide open. Away from the oncoming Carl Anthony before he steps out of bounds. Anthony giving a little push for good measure.
Initially hit by Carl Anthony. And Alvin
He only ends up with 1 yard for that.
A lot of effort for 1 yard.
That whole series of jukes and moves and hits. See, just a little dump pass, hoping to get some action out of it, but Carl Anthony knocks him backwards, and then he has to fight back just to get beyond the line of scrimmage.
Well, they give him 3 yards.
2nd and 7.
33, 2nd and 7.
Ball on the 33, 5:20 left to go, 4th quarter. Rosenbaum.
Holding, man.
There's a couple of flags on the play. Rosenbaum still scrambling. Rosenbaum looks downfield, now throws an end-over-end ball, picked off by Baltimore. Ken Watson, I believe, has come up with the football.
Pressbury's down on the field. God, he was jumping around with one leg, still trying to make the tackle.
There's all kinds of flags on the play here.
Well, Rosenbaugh does a nice little scrambling around, but he throws a horrible pass. I mean, nothing else you can describe it. Watch this ball. He's got a guy wide open, but he's trying to throw way back across his body. Look at that ball floating up there, just saying, whoever wants it, you take it.
Look like
number 33, Ken Watson does come
Why
up
is
with
everybody picking on me? Just because I like to throw the ball up in the air.
You're easy, that's why.
Again, Jakob,
You're a big target.
I was a big target. Yak's all the way to the other side of the field, so you see him coming across. Nobody on him. Here's the guy he tries to get to. You can see he's wide open, but the ball is thrown so poorly that it doesn't make any difference. Ken Watson comes through and ends up with the catch.
Robert Pressbury still being attended to by the medical staff.
Well, Pressbury broke his thumb on the first play of the game in Vegas last week and then played the rest of the game. He's tied for the league lead with 5 sacks. He's tied with Tim Cofield of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And he'll get some help off the field. Baltimore medical team.
See that cast on his right thumb where it was broken. Done quite a job to be able to keep playing, especially the day you break it the first play and you play the rest of the game with a cast on with that freshly broken thumb.
And during that play when he was chasing the quarterback around, with that knee that he's limping on right there, he's hopping around with one foot still trying to chase him down.
Well, anything for a sack, Tom. You know how defensive linemen are.
You're right.
He's hoping they run him right back into him.
Again, Baltimore with the interception. They take over the football on the 15-yard line. High formation. Tracy Ham observing the defense.
Toss.
Runs down the clock. Pringle. Off left guard. And picks up 4.
They like to attack that short side out of that formation. Just bring all the blockers over into the sideline. Overload the defense and then run Pringle inside or out.
The big guy, Pressbury, right there. I'll tell you something. He's a load to handle, too. He's 6'2", 285 pounds.
Second out and 6. Ball on the 20. Ham. Passing situation. Looks over the middle. That pass bouncing a couple of times before it got to the intended receiver on the play, Sean Beal.
It looked like Chris Armstrong was back to the inside on the weak side of the pass pattern there. It looked like he was open also.
Well, Tracy Ham also knows the one thing he doesn't want to do here is throw something that can be intercepted and returned for a touchdown at this point. Make them earn anything they get. Don't give them a big... They already had 4 turnovers. Don't give them another one.
That's right.
Burbage and Donnell back to receive this Josh Miller punt. And it looks like Hamilton will get some decent field position after this one. 4:02 left to go. Miller, a left foot kicker. Bounces right to Donnell. At the 52, he's in the Baltimore territory before he's pulled down. Matt Goodwin doing the honors. I think that Malcolm Goodwin. Matt Goodwin is 39.
We've all messed up on these twins tonight.
I think it may have been both of them that time, guys. I don't know. You can see the ball bounces right to Donnell. Now, Peter Tuivaluco misses him right here. And then here comes Matt. And Malcolm's just watching.
Malcolm.
He's saying, no, Matt's watching Malcolm. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And Scott Miller was in on a tackle also.
Rosenbaum, good pass protection. Looks downfield, throws a short screen pass to Hood. Hood now trying to dance his way away from the oncoming rush led by Gravely and company. And he picks up maybe 4, possibly 5 yards.
Rosenbaum seems to be saying to himself, where are my people? I mean, I can't find you. You're supposed to be there. I just got to dump it, I guess, at the last minute. But he's having trouble finding his receivers.
Clock running, 3:14 left to go. Rosenbaum with the lone setback. Now sends Hood out. Hood is wide open. Rosenbaum looks, holding the penalty. And yes, there's a penalty. The intended receiver, Ken Evrer.
Now, do you take the penalty here, or do you give him 3rd down and 1 to go? You set him back, and I would imagine you take the penalty and knock him back.
Yeah, I'd take the penalty and knock him back there. Make it 2nd and 15.
I'd say Yeah, appears to be limping here a little bit, Rosenbaugh does. You know, the situation there, I said the intended receiver, the primary receiver was Evrere, and obviously he ended up with a football, but Hood here on the near side was wide open. There wasn't anybody 5-10 yards close to him from Baltimore's perspective, but Rosenbaugh overlooked him. He went to his primary receiver.
Yeah, he's not seeing the field that well either tonight, and when he does find open receivers, it's late. He's throwing late in the zone, so he's not having a good night. He's not very impressive at all tonight.
Well, you can see him back there. He's sucking air a little bit, I can say that much. He's had a lot of pressure put on by the defense. That time again, Gerald Bayless in the backfield, chasing them all over the place.
Timeout of the play with 3:03 left to go. Baltimore leading 27-15. Visiting Hamilton Tiger Cats. Baltimore looking to go 4-2. Hamilton 1-4 on the year after a win over Shreveport last week. Could fall to 1-5.
We have a great game coming up on August 20th, it's Saturday night at 7:30 here. There's fireworks, there's a beach party, there's everything's going to be happening here. So we're going to have a good time. Please come on out, support this team. It's an interesting, wide open football game, fast and furious. And I'll tell you, we're in first place and we need your support. Come on out.
Folks, we'll want to remind you our next HTS telecast of CFL football will come your way Sunday, September the 18th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time from Taylor Field in Regina, Saskatchewan. Ray Yock, the father of Joey Yock and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, play host to Don Matthews, the former Saskatchewan Roughrider head coach, who returns to Regina for the first time. So that should be an interesting afternoon of football. Stan White will have his winter parka on and his galoshes, his knee-high boots, and Tom, Addy, and I will walk in there with our golf shirts, and we'll be ready for football.
Yes, sir. Right. I'm not warm. I'd much rather have that Vegas heat than any cold.
I don't know, Stan. Awfully hot in the desert of Las Vegas. In a game I hope a lot of folks watch is great football on HTS Saturday night.
2nd and 16.
Short pass to Hill. Hill turned around by Goodwin with Anthony right there as well, and he's brought down at the 55-yard line. Matt Goodwin and Carl Anthony right there all over Lenzel Hill.
Now they're going to punt with 2:50 left in the game?
Oh, yeah. They're going to try to put him back in the corner.
3rd and 14.
I guess right. 2-down football. You got to think a little differently.
Yes, you do.
It's crazy. Plus the clock stops everything with less than 3 minutes left in the
Lots of time.
game.
I've seen CFL teams score 3 times in the last 3 minutes. There's only 2:48 left to go here. I've seen Doug Flutie play in this league. Great punt there. Fielded by Carl Anthony. Looks for some outside running room. Anthony to the 20. Turns the corner, and he's pulled down at the 24-yard line by P.J. Martin.
47-yard kick again, and a return of 18 yards running to that wide side of the field. If he can turn that corner one of these times, he's off to the races.
One more look at it here.
See how he's trying to get to the outside. He cuts right to the middle. The containment is supposed to be handled by number 21 there. Anthony almost turns the corner. And the good choice right there, not clipping the man. That's stupid football when the offensive player there has a chance to do a clip, but he held off on it.
As the Tilney, number 21, got turned around about 3 times on that one. Like on skates.
2.5 minutes left to go. Receivers go in motion right, or rather left, and Pringle goes to the right. Big afternoon, big evening, actually, for Mike Pringle.
Tui Palumbo really Tui Palumbo got a shot on that one. I think the first thing that hit was the back of his head on that.
Well, Jeff Fields, that big 320-pounder, got some nice penetration, tripped up Pringle a little bit, and then it was just the pursuit that just had their shots at Pringle. He kept the football, though. That was an important thing at this point.
No mistakes.
Wilson and Armstrong, flank left. Here's the pass. A receiver underneath, Chris Armstrong with another reception. You talk about Pringle running the football. Armstrong has had an exceptional night catching the football tonight.
Yes, what a great mark. He saw the forward progress. I thought they might try to mark it back inside the 35-yard line. But again, Tracy Ham drilling this ball. You can see the zip on that one. Again, where the ball was caught, the official saw exactly where it was. He had to get across that 35-yard line for the first down. 7 receptions for 223.
And 2 touchdowns.
I thought that was Matty's career statistics. Why does everybody pick on me? You know, I got a lot of records, you know that? I bluffed them, that's all. Yeah, they're 45s and 33s.
Folks tuning in tonight on HTS would like to know that Matty still has on his wristband here all the plays scribbled down that Don Matthews is going to use.
I always want to know why he was a player. He knew all the plays. Why did he have to have them on his wrist?
Well, you know, we had a whole new offense.
A whole new offense.
All my great ability.
That's right.
I had to look at it to remind myself what to do.
Like run right and run left.
Yeah.
The Bossy quarterback, Len Williams, on Saturday night. He took a page from the Matty playbook. Here's Ham to Walter Wilson. Fumbles the football. The bouncing ball around midfield. Who's got it? Colts. Woo! Plowing Beals. That's a big play. Beals gets under the Hamilton oncoming rush and comes up with that football.
I'll tell you what, Walter Wilson's smiling down there. I wouldn't be smiling. He got lucky on that one. He's got to take that thing and tuck it away somehow.
11-yard gain for Baltimore. 1:26 left to go.
Yeah, watch. I think it's Eric Carter again, isn't it? Comes from behind, number 9 right there, and knocks it out from. He just digs it out from behind. Little strip. The ball bounces up. Britton misses the ball, but it does bounce, and there's Sean Beals to get on it for Baltimore and avoid that 5th turnover we talked about.
All the receivers go right, and Pringle follows the blocking. He's into first down territory. Across the midfield stripe, and again a big first down for Pringle.
Again, student body right.
Eglin, the tackler on the play, but Pringle continuing to add the yardage here.
This is more football than I've seen in a long time. You know, with running plays and screen plays and different types of passes and so forth. This is more running in tonight's game than I've seen all year.
15-yard gain.
Well, there's one thing right there. You see how he transferred it over to his left hand? He should have kept it in his right hand. That keeps it away from the defensive players who's running. Over 100 yards rushing. Yep. 18 carries, 117 yards. A great night for Pringle.
High formation for Baltimore. Ball on the 35. Ham with another long count. Down to 1 second. Gives to Pringle. Pringle goes left guard, and he may pick up close to 5 yards on this one.
Well, I think Don Matthews can feel, as we see him right there, a little comfortable. I think he can chalk up number 100 at this point.
Yes, he can. And I think the fat lady can start singing right now. There's only 39 seconds remaining in the ball game. Baltimore up 27-15.
But he has to say to himself, Tom, how can we make it this close? Why do we do this? 20-2 on the 1-yard line, and we fumble and we let him back in the game.
27-15. 25 seconds left. The clock ticking it again. Here comes Pringle. Pringle looking for some running room outside. Steps out of bounds.
Yeah, he fumbled. The ball went out of bounds, luckily. They are stripping the football rather nicely tonight. I'm talking about Hamilton, but at that time the ball just went out of bounds. Watch it right.
See where he's carrying that ball.
Inside arm. You're right, Tom.
Inside arm. You don't do that as a running back. And these are the kind of lessons that have to go. You really have to go over with the Buffalo. When you're going to that right side, you keep the ball on the right side. That keeps it away from the defense from stripping it away from you. Pringle may be a little bit tired tonight and forgetting it, but I'll tell you what, that's one thing you've got to do as a fundamental as a running back.
Well, yeah, you pointed that out. There's a linebacker coming from the inside. You see that football sitting there. I mean, it's a great temptation, and you just go for it.
Igwe here will attempt yet another field goal here. Baltimore looking for points 28, 29, and 30. This one will be spotted at the 46, perhaps the 47-yard line by John Kagemi, backup quarterback to Tracy Ham.
Well, they'll return this one if it's missed, that's for sure. They changed their deep man. They took out the free safety Wiseman and put in a receiver. I think it's number... Can't quite see the number. Is it 85?
89.
46-yard field goal attempt. Igwe gets it up. It's got the distance.
Matthews just got dumped on it. I'll tell you what, number 100 for a great win for Don